And we're on. We're on. Welcome. Very special show today. Thank God. Artie Lange finally on the Anthony CUMIA show.
Wow.
And finally just like hanging out and talking together. This I guess there's been an impression over the years that we had a problem.
Right.
And I don't know. Well, I know where that came from. Obviously,
there's a little backstory
the
there.
Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern thing was kind of tumultuous over the years, but I never had any personal issues with anybody over there.
It was a radio war, which is whatever the fuck that means.
Which are really the most insincere battles you'll ever see.
The ironic thing is it actually just helps. People help each other in that situation.
Yeah.
You know, you're helping your supposed enemy. I'll give you first of all, I am excited to meet you. I think you're a real talented guy.
Thank you, Artie.
And I do respect your stuff. I'll give you my background, and then we'll get into this of how I came to know of you and Opie and your show. Of course, I grew up a Stern fanatic, you know, and I grew up in Jersey, North Jersey, and I'm sure, right. So I started listening when I was 13. Like the job I ended up getting on that show in my neighborhood, it's better than becoming a U.S. senator. I mean, literally.
No shit.
I mean, you know, I moved to California to do a lot of show business stuff. While I'm in L.A. is when you guys got prominent here, okay? Mm-hmm. And I had friends who's, even though they were construction workers, blue-collar guys, I trusted their opinion on comedy to the letter because we all had the same sense of humor. All Stern fanatics. The first time I ever heard this come out of my friend's mouth, I'll never forget, my friend Anthony, actually, said to me, dude, there's guys in New York on the air in the afternoon on NEW that are Howard-type funny. And I never heard that come out. He goes, they're actually like, Howard in the Morning, and these guys are the same deal. You laugh your ass off. They're funny as hell. And I said, okay, that's the first time I heard your name. And I said, well, I got to check him out. I come back. When I come back, get on the Stern show. Then all this fake radio bullshit happens. And I just never get a chance to catch up on it. And then we never really meet. And, of course, it never. But I found out about you guys through people telling me how funny you guys were. So I'm, and what I heard since then, I agreed with that.
It was, it was
go.
Such bullshit like radio war stuff, and I remember because we used to be thrilled whenever Howard, you guys would be over there and mentioned
why
us,
not?
Whether it was bashing, because in radio that is fuel. That's like, oh, Stern's the number one guy.
Howard says it,
he mentions you, and if he's bashing you, it's great. It's fantastic.
You want it to happen.
And there was one segment, and you guys were laughing, and you were going off on Opie and something, like Opie and a crayon. It's Opie and and I was listening, laughing my balls off because you kept coming up with funnier and more obscure shit to pair Opie with. And I thought it was hilarious. And the fucked up thing was you could never just say that on the air. Like, God, that's funny.
Right.
You're a ball washer. You're going to start kissing Stern's ass. And the fans perpetuate shit like that,
absolutely.
too.
Absolutely. Some fans are savvy enough to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And if they're fans of both show, they just want to get you aggravated because it's great radio.
It really is.
But I'll tell you, because I've done a lot of gigs with Jimmy Norton, who I love over the years. That was another connection, too.
Yeah, I love Jimmy.
And, both fans of both shows can be hardcore.
I've never seen a group of people like that are so nasty at times.
It could be, you've been out to the gigs. It's brutal, man. It's brutal.
Really be nasty. And now
keeps you on your toes. It keeps you sharp,
Obviously, you go through so much stuff in your life that any normal human being, it would be very personal.
Yes.
And it's laid out there for the world to see.
Right.
And to not the most sympathetic audience.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
And that's got to make it more difficult to try to recover from those things.
Yeah. Well, I used to do that show, and then, you walk out in the morning on 6th Avenue at 11 a.m., and, you realize you just told 20 million people that you did coke off a hooker's ass when you were 18 or whatever happened. And, you got literally cab drivers and truck drivers are stopped at lights going, Artie, you are fucked up. And it's surreal. It's like you're in a Fellini movie or something.
It's the oddest thing.
8.5 years of my life, it just escalated. And people who know me, I'm good for a job. 2 years and I'm out.
That's
so
it.
8.5 years is when the commitment thing starts to kick in for relationships. dealerships jobs, and then the dope and the gambling. There was always a camera on me. I'm thinking, like, God forbid I ever had commit another crime, and they're doing a character thing with me. The footage of me. There's hours of footage of me on the Howard Stern Show talking to my bookie on a cell phone.
Really?
Because that's what I would do.
That's what you were doing?
Sometimes during the news, I would call in a bet. And, like, the camera's on me the whole time because that TV show, they just always took footage of you.
Yeah.
And I realize I'm either talking to a bookie or yelling at a girlfriend or something, and it's all on.
And it's all out there for everybody to see.
Or telling a Coke dealer to meet me at a gas station in 2 hours.
But you've had some, like, obviously, in the Stern Show is one of them, really good gigs that you would think that type of, and I know success can't make you fucking happy, especially if you're prone to depression or anxiety, things like that.
It's very complicated.
Yeah, no shit.
You get a job. You're right. Any normal person, why don't you just fucking stay there? Because I could have written my own ticket. I was making money on the road, but I had to self-destruct. Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew.
Believe me, I'm not the most stable individual myself. I've been told, I skip through life with my shoelaces untied quite a bit, and
but you're successful. I mean, at a certain level, so am I. You're like,
sure.
It really is a paradox. You don't. I'm an overachiever. I mean, if my high school guidance counselor, who's dead now, he got shot in the head in a hunting accident. But if he saw my tax returns the last 15 years, he'd faint.
Right.
There's no way you've made this money.
No one,
legally.
Yeah. No one expected, you or like me too.
Right.
Obviously, I dropped out of high school. I fucking went into the trades, doing air conditioning and
I was loading trucks, And
yeah.
I just took a shot at comedy because there was nothing else to do. The other, looking back, would have been a tortured life of blue-collar manual labor.
You see the guys like that were on, for you, on the docks, and then for me, it was, sheet metal work, and they're on these job sites, and they're into their 50s and stuff, and sometimes 60s, and you're looking going, there's no fucking way I'm going to be that guy, and the only way out, because you fucked up everything else, school and stuff, the only way was some type of entertainment, which is like winning the lottery.
Right, and then you win that lottery, and then you start burning bridges. I do a joke now, but my agent goes, well, my new agent was like, well, how many bridges have you burned in this business? And I'm like, you know what? Technically, one time, I think at a crack house, I burned Todd Bridges.
That's literally burned a bridge.
I burned a guy named Todd Bridges. No, so then you get that dream, and you don't do sheet metal, you're not loading drugs, and then you start to fuck that up.
And you start to fuck that up.
Right.
How the hell does that happen?
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. And now, especially in 2015, now there's a whole new way to fuck shit up.
Right.
That's social media, political correctness, being in comedy.
Yeah.
I was talking to yesterday on the show, and it was, it's like comedy was the last bastion of hope.
Yes.
To stay away from this political correct bullshit. They were kind of immune to it. And
it's
now,
the direct enemy of it.
Yes.
The definition of comedy is to cure people who are uptight and make them laugh, and that's what political correctness is, being uptight about stuff,
And then, obviously, I got tossed out of Sirius XM.
Right.
And you had a few issues with tweets and stuff where people they want to fuck you up.
Right.
They want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, and it just takes a couple of people, and, I made the joke. There's a beautiful black woman on ESPN, and I said, look, I'd love to dress up like Thomas Jefferson and fuck her. I don't think there's anything wrong with
There's nothing
wrong with a slave owner fucking a slave. and I pointed out, she in the scenario, she gets free.
Right.
And I only come when she gets free.
She gets free, and
I don't
and
ejaculate.
I think fucks you in the ass or something with a strap on or something.
Right.
It was fantastic.
It was actually a romantic thing.
And it was completely...
Yeah.
No more. I'm Thomas Jefferson, and you're my slave with me till I come. No more. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's the tweet. Yeah.
That was the no more. But now shit like this is what now gets people jammed up and thrown out of their jobs and sullies their reputation.
Yeah, and I love how people on Twitter pretend to be offended by stuff. They're the meanest people. I announced an engagement on Twitter once. I thought it'd be a sentimental thing. The first tweet back, it said, "Eat a dick, fatty." That was the first.
The first one.
I said I met the love of my life. I'm getting engaged. The first tweet was "Eat a dick, fatty."
Right before any congratulations.
My nickname amongst my fans is Obese Witherspoon. That's a real thing, and I'm supposed to worry about being like mean with them. Yeah,
eat a dick, fatty. That's not no shit. There it is.
15 favorites, 6 retweets.
What a fucking prick. Brian Goddard, you dickbag. It's amazing to me how
you guys found that.
the evilness of some of these people.
Yeah, I got to worry about offending them. Fuck you.
It is a double-edged sword. You know, you want to cultivate a passionate audience, don't you?
Yeah, and I mean, your instinct is to get mad at them. Like, you go, what the fuck did you ever do in life? You're yelling at me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to entertain you, asshole. Sorry.
When I realized doing radio that during those slow news days is when you really pour your shit out there. It's like God, there's no stories today. I guess I got to delve back into my childhood or my fucking teen sex life or some drugs or drinking or something like that. You've never held back about.
Well, it's funny. I that's the crazy thing is I actually have.
Really? It was more fucked up than you presented.
The shit I haven't said is a book. Because there's even stuff I start to. I don't know if you ever did this. Probably not. Because I mean, look, you're being nice to put yourself in my realm of loserness. I don't think we're even in the same category.
No, we're pretty close.
I start to think of statutes of limitations on stuff.
Oh, okay.
I would start to think of like, can I tell this story without like people
without getting
talk
arrested?
About a loser. I'm on the biggest radio show ever. I'm living a dream. The DEA came to visit. Okay, that doesn't look good in front of your boss. The DEA came to Sirius one day, and the fucking one of the black security guys who I loved. He was such a nice guy. I won't say his name, but he was always saying, he goes, he would giggle out how much of a fuck up I was. He goes, Artie, man, I'm not bullshitting you. The DEA's outside. He goes, you are one entertaining fuck up. What are you into? I'm like, I don't know. So I had joked that I had the same heroin dealer as Heath Ledger. I said that on the, but it could have been a million different things. You could have video of me doing something in the bathroom. Like I used to do lines in the bathroom at Sirius all the time. God forbid you guys walking in, and then that was my biggest nightmare. You were openly walking in on me doing a line in the
on the back of the toilet,
and then you go do 2 hours on it on your show. But I'm like, what happened? What did I do? And they said it was at a joke because we're investigating the Heath Ledger death.
Wow.
But I said, guys, you got to come to my work in this. I'm like the Scott Greenstein, the boss at Sirius, they see the DEA is talking to Artie.
That's bad.
And then they go, we wanted to be a big fan. One guy had my book. I signed the book that I wrote.
That's what it sounded like, an excuse to come up and talk to you.
They wanted to see the studio, I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, guys, you're fucking me over here. I'm like, that's a joke. I said in the bit, I said, Mary Kate Olsen was our heroin dealer. She was on her way to.
I wonder if she got a visit.
Right, I'm kidding. I hope so.
Wow, that is fucked up.
Yeah. I don't think I ever told that story. But the shit I held back, that's probably if I tell that story, I might get arrested.
Wow. You put out, 2 books?
2 books, yeah.
2 books
Both
that did very well.
The first was #1, yeah.
Yeah, and you really open up in those books.
Right, right.
But no real solution to what's
it's always both have sad endings.
Yeah.
Both are like, look, as I'm writing this last chapter, I'm currently under indictment and I don't know what's going to happen. Bye.
Read the next one.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a good teaser. The next one I thought would end better and it didn't.
Do you, or did you, especially on the Stern Show, and do you now see it as kind of good fodder for show business?
That's the other part of it that's evil too, is you start to think, okay, if I fuck up again, it's another book, or it's another stand-up bit, or it's another story, but fucking up has to happen organically.
Yeah, you can't make it for the air. It's got to be a natural occurrence.
Yeah, I think it inspired a lot of hacky comics who try to fuck up like me.
Yeah. Don't try it unless you're a professional.
Hey, try to be an actual writer. Think of something.
The Stern Show, you joined that in what, 2001?
2001, yeah.
2001. Yeah. And I mean, very successful. Stepping into Martling's shoes, that was, as Martling himself said, we're the Beatles of radio. during the private parts, big huge
Right. Well,
fucking
he's right. I
launch.
mean, he was right. At the,
It was huge,
Yeah.
huger than you could imagine. And as a listener, since I think I was listening since like the mid '80s at NBC, and then his whole career.
Me too, sure.
It was the most amazing thing you ever heard on the radio. It was a stark difference
It
from.
really was different. It was
anything
an
else.
original, like original angles on stuff, the kind of honesty you never heard before. You know, not even the crazy shit with strippers, midgets, blah blah blah. Just the talking and the opinions and it was refreshing.
The day-to-day knocking each other's asses across the. That was funny shit.
It was a true rebellious feeling to like a young sort of like this is a revolution kind of in radio that's really happening. It's for us when you're younger.
Yeah, it wasn't Dad's station on the radio.
Exactly, it wasn't your father's radio show. So,
Right.
But getting that job is something I couldn't even dream of because who knew it would even be available? You're right. I was doing a sitcom with Norm Macdonald that got canceled, and if it didn't get canceled, I couldn't have done the job. So Jackie quit just as I got available for something, and
it's all fucking timing.
That's
like
life.
Man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
you're doing the show, and like I said, amazing to be able to step into something that people they resented you at first, I assume.
Well, I think so because people look at me and they go, "How'd this asshole get the job?" Right? But then they realize it's one of them kind of who's living a dream.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they realize I have a modicum of talent after a while, and they go, okay, maybe he deserves it. But yeah, there's definitely a warming up period. But I used to tell comics when we go on the show, forget all the people listening. You're dealing with an audience of one. If you make Howard laugh, everyone will fall in line. So my goal was to make them laugh, and then I did, and they love me because of that. That's all it is. Just concentrate on him.
The show obviously was very successful in 2001 already.
Right. I just hopped on a moving train that was already. Well, that was the pressure. I could only fuck it up.
No shit. That's a lot of pressure, man.
Anthony, the first ratings book that came out, I said, if this show isn't number one, I'm the guy.
You're the guy.
I'm the shark that it jumped.
Yes.
That was more pressure than.
Wow.
But that got it went on. It did everything for me. I mean, people say, how did it help you? I'm like, how did it help me? I went from playing the Funny Bone in Pittsburgh to Carnegie fucking Hall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it helped me. So
that's huge. Now, but I mean, that kind of schedule for you seems like an impossibility.
Well, Colin Quinn called me up knowing that the schedule it's like having a paper route. I mean, literally.
Every morning.
And we're nocturnal as comics, so Quinn called me up and said, congratulations, I'll give you 3 weeks. Which is accurate.
Oh, shit,
But so lasting 8.5 years was unbelievable. No one would have bet on that. But I said, if I'm going to get, and I had such retarded, out of touch agents in L.A. I was at William Morris at the time, and they said I was on a sitcom. They go, "We're not going to leave a sitcom to do radio." I said, "Radio? I'm not doing the Z Morning Zoo in St. Louis. I'm not ringing the 5 o'clock whistle in fucking Boise.
Have you heard
it's the goddamn Howard Stern show.
Right,
exactly. It's like they just didn't get it.
Wow. How do you not get that?
They didn't get it. That's how dumb a lot of them are. Some of the stupidest things that have ever been said to me are by agents. I mean, that's no lie. But, I said, if I'm going to take anything seriously, it's this. But when I overextended myself, coming from a blue-collar background, you'll understand, I was getting offered money for gigs, and one night more than my own man made in a year. And how do you say no? So now all of a sudden I got 4 weekends in a row, St. Louis, Phoenix, Denver, and then I got to come back Sunday, get to bed to get up at 4:30 in the morning. The mountain's coming. It ain't going to last.
Yeah.
So now you got pills to come up, pills to come down, this, that, the other thing. You're gambling, you're rock and roll, and broads all over the place. And now you're tripping into stripper pussy. It's the easiest thing to get. And but the mountain's coming. And my goal was I'm gonna get as much loot as I can before I hit that mountain.
So you knew? Did you have the feeling that you would just?
I knew. I knew it was coming. My whole life, the last 3 years on that show was like the last half hour of Goodfellas when he thinks he sees helicopter. It's a you see a fucking helicopter right there. I would tell people, I'm like, the mountain, what mountain? There's a mountain coming, I'm telling you,
Holy shit. And now the guys on the show.
I mean, the DEA is visiting me.
The DEA is.
And the security guards going, you're an entertaining fuck up.
The rest of the guys on the show now, and not just Howard, but
Right.
the rest of the guys had to, they've been around the block. They know.
Everybody knew, but a lot of people bring up, they should have done more. But what people don't realize is Howard did a lot. And, it was a comedy show, and he was capable of making anything into radio gold, and that's what he did. And I wanted that to happen. I don't want to be a downer. Look, don't let me passing out on heroin ruin the Kathy Griffin interview. One of my favorite moments is Kathy Griffin's talking about winning an Emmy and how she cried when she told her mother, and you hear me snoring in the back.
Holy shit, that's fantastic.
It's like saying, I won an Emmy once, and I'll tell you, I'm a comic, and I try not to be sentimental, but I told my mother I won an Emmy, and she's the most poignant story of her life.
Of her life. And there you are.
And she's like, when she's a comic, she was funny. Is Artie sleeping?
What the fuck?
And,
Dude, but somebody like Howard obviously appreciates that that's going on.
Yes, but on the other look, right. Howard told me millions of times. How much better can a boss be? He said to me, look, go away and get better. When you come back, you have a job. If it takes a year, you come back, you have a job. So what else do you want a boss to do? He got me names. He spent time talking to his shrink, getting names for me.
Wow,
and God knows what a guy like Howard pays an Upper West Side shrink. And they would do a whole hour session on me. And trying to find me a shrink, and he found me one that sat on my desk for 3 years. I finally used it. They gave me chance after chance. They were like a family that eventually couldn't deal with it anymore. The lies, the not showing up, and me leaving was my fault. And I'm glad they turned it into laughs because my goal was to get laughs.
Right.
But you're getting these huge paychecks and the stand-up and the difference in schedules, there was a mountain coming, and I knew for a couple of years. I just said when I hit it, I didn't realize when I hit it, it would be stabbing myself 9 times on heroin. But
yeah, that's a little extreme.
I did hit it
for a mountain. That's
that was the Alps.
That's extreme. You know what? I got not just a question about that, but right. I can't imagine being able to even do that.
Well, my stomach, thank God, I didn't come near an organ. If I had abs, I'd be dead right now. It was. Listen, that to me is the best If I could be serious in the books about people using opiates, that's the hell of it. That was in the withdrawals of heroin, and that was a living hell. And I couldn't go to Washington Heights one more time. I couldn't cop one more time. I said, I just want to sleep. I don't know what to do. And I thought losing blood would just make me pass out. I don't know what my game plan was. Get up the next day and put a red shirt on, hope no one notices. And I woke up in the hospital with Robin Quivers next to my bed holding my hand 2 days later. In Jersey City. So, the mountain came, I hit it, and 8.5 years, thank you, and I got to go. You got to move on. I knew, again, the money thing, I had saved enough loot to where I needed 2 years to get better, and I could afford to get better. So, thank God I had that time, and I came back, Still here.
You obviously felt like shit when you weren't doing drugs, but it seems like you felt like shit when you were.
That's the problem.
Yeah. That seems
it's like gambling. You chase that first high. It's never that.
Nothing works anymore.
Right.
So
I remember the first time I tried ecstasy. It was like 1992. Some broad comic gave it to me at the comic strip, and I said, my God, they perfected drugs. In a pill, there's every great feeling in one pill. You don't have to go in the store with a key and put shit on the key. And I walked around New York for 8 hours shaking homeless people's hands. Like, how are you, buddy? Like, ecstasy was the perfect name. And then after a while, you need 8 of them and nothing's happening. And you just have a headache.
Working.
Right, yeah.
Wow. So you spent a lot of time not only in rehab, but in literally mental institutions.
I was in a couple of mental homes, yeah.
And you said that was like probably amongst the most depressing places you could be.
I do a joke. I've been to jail and I've been to mental homes, and you say, like, what would you rather be in? And to me, it's an easy answer. I'd much rather be in jail than a mental home, because in jail, people think logically, and after a while, when you're incarcerated, you just want to have a logical conversation with somebody. Like, here's the difference. In jail, here's how people think. I needed money, so I stole a car. In a mental home, here's how people think. I needed money, so I jerked off at the mall. It's hard to get a good back and forth.
Right. You can't really.
I just had to get
Jesus.
I had to get the fuck out of mental homes, man. that was the worst part because I did time in L.A. County Jail in the '90s, and that to me was way better than any mental institution.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you kind of accepted as one of the guys in jail?
Well, that's
a good rap.
I was on a show called Mad TV when I got arrested, so even though it was a low-rated show, I was technically a celebrity.
Sure.
So there's a rule in jail. And I didn't know that at the time, but I'm waiting to get processed. I was handcuffed next to this Mexican kid who had a tattoo of Speedy Gonzalez on his back. It covered his back, and it was beautiful. And I was handcuffed to this kid. He's bleeding from his ankle for 6 hours getting processed, and we talked about the tattoo. And a kid next to him recognized me from the show. And the kid I was, there's Mad TV. A kid I was, the kid I was tattooed to said to me, hey, if you're a celebrity, you get your own cell. I said, you got to be kidding me. He goes, yeah. He goes, you get a red wristband. So I told the guards, they never heard of the show. Then they asked another
now
kid.
You got to try to convince.
It's a discussion if I'm a celebrity or not.
If you're a celebrity.
Right. And then they ended up giving me my own cell because of that. So it was better. But I showered there a couple of times, and it was brutal.
Were you just? Was it a fear thing? Not that you're going to get fucked in the ass or anything.
Well, that's always in the back of your mind.
Is it?
But I mean, look, I was never more happy to be a fat, ugly guy.
Is it really? Does it go through your mind and you're like, oh, it's my first shower in jail?
You never know. Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm thinking about if I have to blow a guy, I'll try to give a bad blowjob.
Just let the word get around the cell block.
Like
that
do
you
everything
give bad
wrong.
Head.
Do everything wrong. Like look up at awkward moments.
Teeth, all the shitty blowjob.
Right, scratch the taint. I want to get around to that guy gives a terrible blowjob. No, all that went through my head. You think of everything, and but I ended up getting the fuck out of that too. I don't know. You survive, I guess.
Yeah. It's I can't imagine that to that extent. Like, I've tried to steer clear of
Did you ever do a night in jail for anything? DUI? Nothing? Good for you.
Knock wood.
See, you're not in my league of losers.
No, I've just been lucky, I think, especially, in my youth. I used to drive around with a can of beer between my legs.
Our generation, we've all done that.
Not just drinking and driving, drinking while driving, without any clue, like, what if I get pulled over right now? Like, where am I going to put this?
Oh, you can. My buddy was a cop. My buddy became a cop. We were 22 years old. We drove down to Atlantic City. He had the badge. We're doing 110 miles an hour in his sister's Chevette. The car's shaking down the Garden State Parkway in broad daylight. We're not only drinking, we're like mixing martinis out the window.
Actual drinks.
Yeah, there's like lines of Coke on the dashboard. We got pulled over 8 times. He just showed the badge. I'm late for a security job. He goes, all right, take care, And we went, I mean, that, and this generation now, you talk about political correctness. I remember I was dating a young girl. She was in her 20s, and I showed her the movie Arthur with Dudley Moore, and she thought it was a tragedy.
It's sad.
She goes, is he drinking and driving? When I grew up, this was funny.
This was a comedy, right?
Yeah, she's like, no, this is a tragic story. I'm like, oh, Christ.
Yeah, different worlds, man.
Right.
I love the story about your bank robbery arrest.
Yeah.
Was that just a defense that you were giving her?
No, I got arrested for attempted bank robbery. I was 17 years old. I was with my girlfriend at the time, my high school girlfriend, and she was 18. So, and she had her mother's car, and she had a bank account at this place, and I didn't have a bank account, but the teller next to her was cute. And on the back, I wrote a hold-up note that was like from a Woody Allen movie, the movie Take the Money and Run, put $50,000 into a bag, act casual. But the first thing it said was, I have a gun.
Oh,
and then I signed my name. I said, thank you for your cooperation, signed Artie Lange. And I gave her. And she saw I have a gun. She turned pale, and she hit the silent alarm. I didn't know that. And I took the note. I said, oh, it's a joke, and I threw it out. And me and my girlfriend drove away. My girlfriend didn't know what happened. We just missed a SWAT team that surrounded the bank, and they were looking for both of us, like a Bonnie and Clyde situation. And they arrested us about 3 hours later. And her old man, I thought was connected. I think he was connected. He's gone now, but I was scared shit of him. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I was more scared of him than the cops. So I said to the cops, I said, look, whatever happens to me, do not let anything happen to her. I said, I'll do whatever time you want, blah, blah, blah. So I did a couple of nights in jail, and they gave me community service. They knocked it down with disorderly conduct. But the cops found the note. So when I went to juvenile court, all these gang members, these black kids and Elizabeth, are in the back. watching the court go down, and the judge reads the note out loud in the courtroom. He goes, "Mr. Lange, I have something you wrote here. I'd like to read to
Oh, no,
I have a gun. Put $50,000 in a bag." And they just embarrassed me.
Of course.
Right. So it got knocked down with disorderly conduct. Then I had to go meet my girlfriend's off the boat greenhorn Italian father. And I said, Mr. Pio, I call him Mr. Pio, listen, I had nothing to do with it. He goes, when you rob a bank, take my daughter. And I go, I didn't try to rob a bank. Like, robbing a bank was no problem.
That was no
Why
problem.
would you
But
take a
you
chick?
don't take the ladies
Right.
with you. What are you doing?
I go, I didn't try to rob a bank. He goes, no, I know you. He goes, you're crazy. You're crazy. I'm like, all right. And then he let me off of that too,
So but you have. How long is your criminal record? Is that? I mean, there seems to be.
The first time I got arrested I was 17. Yeah,
17.
I've been arrested about 11 times.
11 times.
Yeah.
Mostly what for drugs though? Or?
2 DUIs, that disorderly conduct, a lot of bar fights in my early 20s.
Bar fights.
That my buddies got it, not even my fault type of thing. Possession of coke was why I was in L.A. County. Possession of cocaine and taking a swing at a cop. There's a couple of resistant arrests. And I went along with a buddy once that it was breaking and entering in a house. I didn't even know he was doing it. I was in the car. It was like a B&E thing that got thrown out. Yeah.
Wow. So.
And I got arrested in Paris once for public drunkenness.
Public drunkenness.
One
in
international arrest.
An international arrest. Nice.
I got arrested in Paris. Danny was with me for that one. Me and my girlfriend got into a massive fight, and I was drunk, and I took a swing at a gendarme, a Paris cop, and they took me to jail, and they put me in this cell with this crazy fucking guy, and I called the French guard over. And I said, hey, I think this guy belongs in the psych ward. And he goes, Monsieur, you are in the psych ward. But they let me sleep it off. It was like an old school thing. He goes, you sleep it off. He goes, we're not in New York. We not punch you in the head.
The French version of Mayberry. Yeah.
That's what I was like Otis.
Like Otis.
I was with Otis. The French Otis.
The French Otis.
I never thought of that. That's hilarious.
Just lets him out.
I was with the French Otis.
Holy shit.
And, he had his own key. He locked himself up. And then I got on the, they let me out. He goes, if you sleep it off, in the morning we let you go. And they ripped my shirt off when they arrested me, so they gave me this blue smock thing. And I went out on the Champs-Élysées, like by that Arch of Triumph thing to get back to my... I wish I had video of this. For me, shirtless. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. in Paris. Took me an hour to get a cab.
No shit.
Yeah.
The ugly American.
That's exactly what I was.
Once again.
The ugly fat American.
Invading a beautiful country.
I'd say it's... Oh, there I am.
Oh, great.
That's from the show Rescue Me.
Oh, Rescue Me. Yeah.
I fucked a nun in that episode. That's the nun.
That's hilarious. Holy shit. When you, I guess, did you get fired or leave Stern's show?
It's you know what? It's almost like the end of the Korean War. Is it
just kind of ended?
It just kind of, It awkwardly just ended. No, it was a mutual thing of
yeah.
It's, Artie, do you think this has run its course? I'm like, probably.
Probably.
It was a lot of fun. It was the most fun of my life as a comedian, my God. But the last couple of years, I was a full-blown heroin addict.
Oh,
like full-blown. If I didn't have it for a few hours, it was like not having oxygen. Withdrawals would set in, and so I couldn't function. And
were you consciously thinking like, oh, congrats, you stepped up to heroin. Good job.
The first time, I'll never forget the first time I did it. It was on the road. I was taking painkillers, a lot of them. I was up to 100 Percocet a day. And I won't say what's...
How do you even do that, and not get full?
Like,
it seems like
I was
just
able to,
eating that many pills.
I was always able to throw down a cheeseburger afterwards. But your liver, anything. I don't know how my liver failed once. I went to the hospital for that, but... they pumped me with IV fluid, and I came back. Thank God, it's perfectly healthy. But I was at a club on the road. I'll never forget this. I made this a chapter in my book because it's the funniest thing anyone ever said to me. Those club guys could get you anything you want because they need you to get on stage. I had five sold-out shows at this club in the Midwest. And I said to the guy, look, I got to get painkillers. I can't do these shows. He goes, how many you need? I said, give me like 300. He goes, how many are you taking a day? I go, like 100. He goes, dude, this guy said this to me. He goes, you should do heroin. It's better for your liver. It's better for your liver. You should do heroin. It's better for your liver. What? And I said, well, get me some. I'll do whatever's going to get me. So he got me like two $80 bags. It was brown. And and I went back to the hotel and did it. And this is how euphoric it was. I knew my addicted personality.
Oh,
As soon as I felt how it felt, as I was hitting the pillow, nobody in the room, I said out loud, didn't even think it. I said out loud, "I'm in trouble." That was a gut reaction. I just said, "I'm in trouble."
You just knew.
And then I chased it for 7 years, 7, 8 years.
Seven
or 8
years.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Do you talk to Howard at all or anyone from the show?
You know, no, I don't. We don't have a. Listen, you know, they tell you in rehab, you know, heroin's and drugs, booze, it's gonna cost you certain friendships that you valued more than anything else. And the worst thing it probably cost me is probably because I had a real friendship with Howard, and my friendship in that job is probably the worst thing it cost me. We're very friendly. I've seen him since. Robin unfortunately got sick, and I went and saw her at the hospital, and Howard just happened to be there. And for an hour, we laughed like we were old friends again. And he was very nice and supportive. But I think I get the message that he's like, "Look, I did all I can for you. I got a life, and I can't be involved with this anymore." And I don't blame him at all. He did do everything he could, and it's just exasperating. I treated his workplace like a heroin den, you know, and it's not right. It's my fault. I don't blame anybody. I know there's addicts that blame people. I wish I still talked to him more because I love the guy. He did everything for me. But no, I'm not going to lie to you. I lied for a while with that question.
You did?
But I did. I said, yeah, we talk, but we don't talk. We don't talk.
Yeah, it's and it's such an odd thing. You were there for 10 years, about
8.5 years.
8.5 years. You build up a very strong relationship with the people you work with.
In radio, we were talking about this. It's such an intimate thing. We're 3 feet from each other right now.
Every day.
Every day, 4.5 hours a day. And you go through battles. Like you and Opie and Jimmy, you guys get fired. You go through promotion together, success, failure, fight, and you're like through wars together. And all of a sudden, now you don't see each other. Something happens. And it's sad. I miss those people. I do.
Yeah, there's a certain camaraderie and just being friends with those people when you don't have a reason. And it's odd because you do consider them very close friends, but if you were, I have close friends that I've known since high school that were just at my party over Labor Day weekend.
I'm the same. I got a lot of high school
and
buddies,
they are just the great. We fucking don't see each other for months. Get together, take up right where we left off.
I'm the same way.
And then there's the work friends that, you know, you have a great friendship. You think, I guess. And then the second you leave that job, you never see them again.
Well, in show business, that's amplified, too. I think it's more true in show business because everyone really has their own selfish agenda. You think you find that out and you go, wow, I thought we were buddies. No, I was just trying to get a sitcom.
Yeah, I just needed something.
I was just waiting until someone more famous walked behind you. That's like those L.A. friendships. You think you're friends with somebody and it's like, oh, wow, you're a nice guy. Is that true, Carrie?
Yeah.
It's a bitter, but no, but I think, but you know, there was more to it, I'm sure, with you and with me. It's an intimate thing, and there was a real friendship there. In this case, you know, my behavior ended it, but it's sad. You know, life goes on. Then you're adults and you have adult responsibilities. You move on. But I got to say, and I told you this coming in here, Anthony, I'm a big supporter of what's going on here. I'm happy that we live in times where, you know, the bullshit that happened to you can move on and do this. I'm happy you're succeeding.
Well, thank you. I'm happy you are too.
Right,
I mean, years ago. Years ago, we were fucked. It was
this technology allows
persona non grata.
Right, there's justice now. You know, you make maybe a mistake or two, you get, and now there's, you know, a talented guy might get set aside. Now a talent guy can thrive, maybe even be happier than ever before. Right?
Yeah.
I look around, you got a studio here. It's great.
It really is a cool thing to be able to do it yourself. But I'll tell you, and you're probably of the same school of thought as I am.
Right.
I'm not the most. I'm imaginary motivated. Like I have lots of good ideas.
Right.
But as far as implementing them and doing things, it was kind of nice to get up early and do a show and leave and draw a paycheck and just be like.
And it's successful.
Right.
And you reach a lot of people. And
there you go.
No, that's a big deal. But now
And now it's like, this is my deal.
Right.
I have to make this work.
And the other part of it is, let's face it, we're not 25 anymore. You don't have all that energy, too. You know, there's that aspect.
I was thinking as I'm driving in, I'm like, I seriously think, you know, you hear about body dysformic people and stuff. I think I'm age dysformic. I don't accept, like, I look in the mirror and I think I'm 20.
Right.
Like, I like people think they're fat or they're skinny. And, like, I can't accept that I'm in my 50s.
Yeah.
So
Well, we don't.
I don't act that way. And like you said, you're an adult. You have adult responsibilities.
Right.
Like
the bills are getting paid.
I'll pay the bills when I get the last notice, maybe, but they get paid. But then there's this other part where it's just I can't really do that grown-up guy thing.
No, I mean that's why we're doing this.
I think you're right.
Because I mean, look, this business allows you never to grow up.
Yeah.
On a certain level. I'm not an adult like my other friends are adults.
Yeah.
They tell me what they're doing. I'm like, Jesus, what is that like?
I'm on the train coming in today, and there's the businessmen guys, and they have to be maybe in their 40s.
Yeah.
And I look at them like they're older than me. Like I look and go, oh, that guy. He's what's his life like?
I have younger cousins who are way more responsible than me.
Yeah. But that's when I thought I was age dysmorphic because I'm like, I'm looking at that guy like he's older than me, but he's not.
No, I know. I have the same exact thing. And, I think in the 70s and 80s when we were growing up, didn't it seem like guys our age seemed older?
Oh, they were old motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad and his friends. And they were younger than I am now.
And they
sitting
older,
there with their Schaefer beers and
maybe we're delusional, but I don't think it's. I think first of all we're in a funner business. We're just having a funner time.
Absolutely,
it's a better time to be alive in every way. And my father climbed roofs for a living, so I'm just he'd probably want to punch me in the face if he was alive. So what are you bitching about?
Yeah.
But I think the combination of what we do for a living and the fact times have changed. Like Fred McMurray and My Three Sons was probably our age, and he seems like a grandfather.
He was the old guy, man.
Right.
Yeah. What about and this affects? I know it affects me as far as like relationships go. I am awful at relationships. Not abusive or anything like that.
Right.
I don't make a good boyfriend or husband or anything. I was married in 1990. That lasted like 9 years, and then. I will never get married again.
Well, that's another area where you might not even be in my league there either. I could not imagine somebody worse at a relationship.
Are you?
I've been in 3 like 4 to 5 year relationships since I'm 22. Twice I got engaged. And they ended in such miserable fire wrecks of like me just being,
really?
But all my fault. And I just forget the selfishness, the throwing money at situations, coming back from a gig.
Right.
My girlfriend Dana for a long time. I remember I came back from a gig in Pittsburgh. I forgot that she was in her cousin's wedding. Like the tux was laid out. I got off the plane hungover, and I said I physically can't go to the wedding.
Holy
He started
shit.
crying. I said, well, why don't we I'll give them $5,000.
Right, just throw money at
right,
the
and that's
problem.
right. And she goes, well, they don't want. I go, I guarantee they'd rather have $5,000
than me at their wedding.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's call them up right now. Get them on the phone.
Right, they'll take the $5,000.
Right, or stuff like just incense. One time this actually came out of my mouth. I never want to get a dog because I don't like them in my place. And my one girlfriend was a dog lover. She said, let's get a dog. I said, honey, I get grossed out when you shit in my apartment. Like the worst thing you could say to a woman.
Not the...
It just always led to bad.
Oh, my God.
I'm the same way, dude. I think it's selfishness.
Yeah,
I
am. And then thinking you can just solve it with a few bucks.
The money thing, yeah.
And not like really not listening. You know the gag? It's like, oh, my husband, he doesn't listen to me. It's like, really? He comes home. He I never listen.
Right.
They tell me shit, and it's like, no, you said you were going to do this or be here, like you said, with the wedding and things. Yeah. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
None.
Or like you plan a trip, like, you say we're in a committed relationship, blah, blah. And then, I got to go to L.A. for 2 weeks to do something. And then she goes, well, when's our flight? And I go, you're coming? Yeah. It's,
Yeah. What do you do now? Like, as far as, are you in a relationship?
I just broke up with my last fiance. That really broke my heart. She was a doll.
Yeah.
And I blew that.
It was your fault?
Completely. Not even close. She's gone, and I've been here and there, a couple of one-night road things that you let that happen. But that just becomes depressing. That becomes like too much heroin or something. Like you're looking at this. 48-year-old waitress from Cincinnati, and you're going, oh my God, what'll it take for you to get the fuck out of here?
Do you have the ambition to? Do you want to get married? Do you want to?
I don't know. I don't know if that's fair to anyone involved
Right?
at this point. I thought I could the last time. But the first time I got engaged, I bought it. Talk about a fear of commitment. I bought a ring. We went to Turks and Caicos, and I was going to ask her in Turks and Caicos, right? So I bought a ring from these guys I knew at the port when I was a longshoreman. I bought it hot. I bought a diamond for $50,000. That was $250,000.
Jesus Christ!
Legally.
Yeah.
But I never got it mounted. I just brought an uncut diamond, the Turks and Caicos. I don't know what I planned on doing.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Besides maybe lose it.
Well, that's what I mean. So it's in my duffel bag, like by my shaving kit.
Oh, Christ.
And we got into this vicious argument. She went home before me. So I never got. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll take the diamond back to the mob guy I bought it from." I said, "What are you gonna give me?" He goes, "I gotta give you $25,000." So I rented a diamond for a week for $25,000.
For $25,000. Holy shit!
That's a typical that week in my life. Talk about out of control.
Wow.
I was, the vacation I dropped $30,000, 25 for the diamond that was just I didn't even show her.
Yeah.
And she didn't find out about it until she read it in my book. She goes, "You had a diamond in your
It
duffel?"
was there the whole time.
And I got it appraised too. The only reason I brought it, this Hasidic guy on 47th Street, I wanted to make sure the guy didn't rip me off. He goes, "So you have a $247,000 stone here," and I bought it for $50 cash.
Wow.
And the guy I bought it. He was a scary guy. I bought it from. He goes, "Don't let me find out you sold this." That's the only reason I took it back to him.
Oh, right.
I could have just. People say, "Why don't you sell?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to do that." He goes,
"He ain't gonna find out."
Right, he'll find out.
You fucking.
It cost me 25. I rented him diamond for $25,000. Just another.
Oh my
a bad
God.
business transaction.
Yes. Yeah. And the gambling, obviously, you enjoy. Now, I've been known to play a little blackjack at the Borgata and Vegas and stuff, and it is exciting and fun.
It's
and
instant excitement.
What was your poison in the casino?
I did everything. Casino stuff. I like craps. I got into the craps. Blackjack. I got addicted for a while in Vegas at Binion's, the single deck blackjack. I was convinced I could count cards.
You figured it out.
Right. I'm no Ben Affleck, put it that way. It's just the action of it, the instant excitement. I like betting on shit I knew nothing about.
Knew nothing about. Just
doing drugs and betting on. I was just this thing like you have betting on stuff you know nothing about, including sports. I used to say you have a gambling problem if it's 4:00 in the morning. You're at the Mirage Sportsbook, and you're coked up asking strangers, "Did you see the high school lacrosse scores?" You bet on it. Rice Baylor. What's the line? I don't know. Just bet it.
Bet it.
Right.
I don't care.
It was about needing risk, needing action.
Right.
Whatever.
You dropped a lot of money on Tyson Holyfield, was it?
The first one I lost.
The first one?
The first one I lost $23,000 on. But that was like in the early. That was like chipping my teeth.
Yeah.
But that was not the biting ear one, the first fight. I thought Tyson was going to literally murder him.
Yeah.
And
well, that was during the days where you rented the Tyson fight.
Right. Well, I was in Vegas. I was at the fight.
You were at the fight.
I was doing that show Mad TV at the time, and Quincy Jones was one of the producers, and he got us tickets, and I went and I lost quite a bit of money on him.
He would just come out of the corner and just pound anybody that was in front of him, and it was like you can't lose.
Well, Buster Douglas had beat him a couple years ago, and I figured, but Holyfield picked him apart. Him apart, so I lost a bunch of money on that, and I lost at the tables, and I went back to L.A. and I lost more. That's when I got arrested, and it's a blur.
It's
a blur. Yeah, it is. It's I like the saying it out loud is very scary because this stuff happened.
Yeah. Well, you seem to go through the ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, but a lot of them.
Right.
Like a lot of them in your life.
There's no moderation.
Yeah.
There's no let's take it. Let's have an average day.
Just an average, dull fucking day, whatever.
But it's like, well, why live if you're not, why live if you're just not doing anything?
Do you feel like you're missing something if you're not like right on the edge all the time?
Yeah, I'm one of those idiots. And I
yeah.
can't get through it through my mind.
Yeah.
I had one shrink tell me he can't help me and he can't imagine someone who could. That was a shrink.
That seems a little counterproductive. That doesn't seem like something he should be telling you. Wow.
I'll never forget
what
that.
What a dick.
And the guy, and I was paying him like $800 a week. I'm like, you're ending this? He goes, yeah, I can't take this anymore.
Oh, man.
That guidance counselor in high school who I told you got shot in the head, he told me, Mr. Mafucci, he told me that I had a disinterest in my walk. I said, what does that mean? He goes, I watch you walk to class. You don't look interested in life. That's going to hurt you. I said, well, I'm walking to biology with Dr. Gross.
Yeah, what the fuck do you want out of me? My walk. Should I be skipping? Skipping to science class?
I'm going to do coke with Bianca Jagger in Studio 54. There might be skipping my stuff.
My guidance counselor told me to take off the rest of the year. Like
what?
he just because I was doing
from
nothing.
School?
Yeah. He goes, here's what you got to do. He goes, just don't. He goes, take the rest of the year off.
Right.
He goes, go get yourself a job, see what that's like,
right.
And then come back next year. So I did, and I got a job. Like it was a shit job, washing dishes at Chicago Pizza Pub out on Long Island or something.
Sound bad, yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
And I came back the next year, and after like a week, I was like, fuck this. I got no money now.
Right.
I can't afford cigarettes. I was staying out late. I didn't have to be here.
This is the worst advice ever.
It was the worst. I was like, bye.
Right. Lack of guidance counselor.
Yeah, it was the lack of guidance counselor. Yes.
Well, I had when I did the bank robbery thing, I had a probation officer. So the probation officer told me, he goes, look, you're going in front of the judge. He's going to give you time unless you have an activity. I didn't have a job.
Scagnetti? Was it Scagnetti? That son of a bitch.
That's what it should have been. That's the name that would have fit. He goes, you don't have a job and you're not in college. He goes, you got to get an activity, otherwise you might be in trouble. The probation guy said, do something. So that's why I went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Right. I read that, and it's like that was a punishment. That was like a sentence. You were sentenced to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
And after a week of that, I should have went back and said I'd rather go to jail. I graduated after 2 months. I didn't know how to play a cassette. I don't know what I was doing.
That's hilarious.
But I told the guy, I'm in school.
Right.
You know.
We used to get like the Connecticut School of Broadcasting graduates that would come in for an internship or something.
At Howard, we had that too.
And they always said, like, no, I learned nothing there.
Nothing, yeah.
I know nothing about broadcasting.
Broadcasting's
a weird thing because I think the most popular or successful people in it, and Howard is an anomaly because he went through every bit of that. But he was kind of raised in that era where you did go to broadcasting school and did all that stuff.
It was all about education.
Yeah. Now it doesn't seem like that's necessary.
Well, so many people, because of the success, probably people like me and you, they think they can do it.
They just,
right?
There's a load of podcasts and video webcasts and stuff out there.
Unbelievable.
But it's almost like I usually equate it with stand-up comedy in the 80s.
Right.
You couldn't turn on the TV without some comedy show from some shitty club with a bunch of shitty comics
doing the same thing.
And then after a while, they just went away. The cream rose to the top. And
exactly, and that'll happen with anything, I think. But Connecticut School of Broadcasting to me is the equivalent of like a stand-up comedy school.
A school,
When people tell you, they go to stand-up comedy schools. I'm like, my God.
Yeah, I don't need to know the alloy that the antenna is made out of to do radio.
Right.
I don't need to know what the settings on the meters and
it's all that bullshit that wastes time.
Right.
For a class, so they got to pretend, they're doing something.
Did you graduate high school? You did.
Oh, high school.
High school.
I had to go to summer school. I didn't graduate on time.
You didn't graduate on time.
I tell people I graduated fourth in my class in August of 1985. Yeah, I had to go. I failed 3 classes the last semester, and I had to go to summer school to get my diploma. But I couldn't go to graduation. My mother was devastated. They wouldn't allow me at the graduation because I didn't graduate.
Well, because you hadn't graduated. You had to.
Right. So.
Yeah, that was. I just lied after I left high school.
Yeah.
I just lied to every employer. It's like, where'd you graduate? High school.
You do it back
graduate.
then before you Google.
Like John Glenn.
Yeah.
I went to John H. Glenn, and that was That was it. They never checked.
Oh,
so
it
they
was easier.
assumed
Everything was easy. You get laid easier before Google. When I first moved to L.A., I made out with 2 separate chicks who thought I told them I wrote Jurassic Park. They said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a writer."
That's a pretty big movie to just
I said,
bullshit
"What'd you
about.
write?" "I wrote Jurassic Park." Get out of here, really? I almost fucked 2 of them.
No checking.
Right.
You can't check.
Now they meet you,
Right.
they go in the bathroom, they Google you, they come out, they're horrified.
They hate you now. Yeah. It was an easier but harder thing. Did you have a good rap like with girls growing up?
No.
No? See, it was hard, man.
No.
To actually face a girl. Now, you few how do you do's on a text, and before you know it, you both see each other naked.
Right.
You're sending nudes. You're sending I want to fucking
Right.
fuck you.
It's a more politically correct time with joking around, but young people seem way more promiscuous.
Yeah.
It is odd.
You'll see a girl, like the idea of seeing a girl that you were interested in when I was a kid growing up, seeing her naked was like the grand fucking prize. That was the biggest thing that could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it's like, all right, she sent me a picture of her nude. She's all right. The jadedness that takes.
She's all right.
The fucking, like, I would have jumped on anything back then.
Right.
It was impossible to walk up to a girl and start a fucking conversation.
I know. Well, especially now, like my buddies are all, I'm 47, so just because of the business I'm in, I'm able to get some younger, pretty girls.
There you go.
And my buddies are all so bitter because they were always better ladies' men than me, and their wives look like me because they've had 4 kids. And I come to a party, a barbecue with a 28-year-old blonde, and they're like, well, and they give me that bullshit of like that cliche of like, well, what, you got nothing to talk to her about, you got nothing in common, you don't like the same movies. I'm like, dude, I'll make you a deal. I'll talk about Caddyshack with you, and I'll fuck her. I really don't care if she knows a lot about the Stones' 3rd album.
Right. It doesn't really bother me while I'm fucking going down on a pussy that smells like bubblegum and homework.
That's hilarious.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah, okay, sorry. You really made me feel guilty. Yeah.
There's there's so many of the guys I grew up with and stuff, and their like you mentioned, the wives and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I can't
the wives hate my
imagine,
guts,
and not
though,
even
yeah.
like a sex thing.
Right.
I can't imagine fucking talking to them.
No.
They say, oh, what do you have in common with her? Like that, oh, she's, in her 20s. I don't have anything in common with those women.
Right.
The fucking.
Of course. No, exactly.
About
I said to her, I said, what do you talk to your wife about? What's so fun about you? You and her talk about a lot about Animal House or something?
Yeah. They're always talking to like they have nothing to say to a 20-something-year-old.
All they do is bitch
like, what are
at
you talking about?
All right. All I hear them is yell at you, you know.
Well, my uncle has cancer. It's enough with the cancer conversations.
Or they said, what do you have in common with your girlfriend? I'm like, well, she was born the same year I got my first DUI.
We can talk about that. And you know how cool you can seem by picking out some really good movies from a few years back and like, let me show you this one.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you really know some good movies. Meanwhile, everyone knows they're good movies.
Right. Well, I love educating a younger girl. Like if she tells you like, if you say, what's your favorite comedy? And she'll say something like Russell Brand's Arthur. Well, guess what? We're going to have a fun weekend.
Yeah, this is going to be
I'm
good.
going to show you what a comedy used to be.
Did you ever have to meet a dad and kind of do that whole thing? Because
my last fiance, she was younger, but her father was only just a few years older than me, and he's a doctor.
Awkward, right?
And they were very waspy, proper people. And we would go to my house on Christmas Eve, and literally it'd be like my uncles and cousins screaming at a college game that they had bets on, like over the dinner table. And then we go to her place on Christmas Day, and the most proper, like people, quiet.
Oh, no.
And, it's like that Woody Allen and Annie Hall where he goes to Diane Keaton's waspy family and he feels like a rabbi. To me, that's the Italian version. Like everything I said in front of her family, I felt like John Gotti. Like, pass the potatoes. Oh. The mafia guy dating your daughter wants some more carrots. Hey,
over the top, yeah.
Hey,
They're just seeing you like.
I understand you're a doctor.
Oh,
Can you
my
look
God.
at this foot for me? That's how I felt. Everything was that amplified,
It's so awkward though. Like, And that might be the part where your friends have you. Like, oh, the younger girlfriend. It's like, I just don't want their family. I never want to meet their family.
Well, there's misery in everything.
Yeah.
You're not. It's not gonna be a perfect. Like, what are the odds you're gonna love her family and her family's gonna love you? I mean, that's crazy to even think that of that. But at least some people have. They can. It's easier to. Everyone deals with it on a better level. But some people just have that contentious. Everyone has to hate each other.
Yeah.
And then again, the whole Google thing. I keep going back to that. I'm dating a girl, and it's like, her father. I mean, again, this is a guy's a doctor, a beautiful girl that he raised. He sent her to a wonderful college, and then she's dating like Dom DeLuise with a heroin problem. He's got to want to shoot me. He's got to put a fucking hit out on me.
That really does kind of sum up how you feel about yourself, how I feel about me. I'm constantly thinking, wow, her dad or family must just think, wow, I raised her to go out with this piece of shit.
Yeah, this is the guy.
This is the sex at St. Pat's guy, or the fucking racist exactly. Twitter guy.
And then they know if you're somewhat famous, they know all your shit. It's on the
yes.
My God, they watch my special or something. I'm like, or just anything printed right, or any bit from Stern, anything printed out what I said. They gotta want it. They gotta want to shoot me.
There's nothing worse than reading a transcript of what you said.
Well, think about it.
Because the FCC used to send those over. And it's like, well, here's what you did. And it's like, I don't remember a problem with that because it was fun when you're saying it. And then when you just read it, she needs to be fucked in the ass. And it's, wait, I never said that.
Well, the best was that happened a couple of times. We got fined for something, suspended for something, and it was based on some of Freddie's sound effects. So they would send over the transcripts, and then like it would be something awful like that. Then Artie says, "Do midgets fart as loud as people?" And then you hear a fart sound.
It's so ridiculous to read it.
But it's like, do midgets fart as loud as people?
People, yes. You're assuming they're not even humans.
And in print, you don't hear an inflection, sarcasm, the midget laughing, which he did.
It's a joke in the first place. Nothing, just
fart sound.
It's the fart sound. I used to like when I'd read those and because it would say like Anthony, Opie, Jimmy, and who said what, and then it was like unintelligible, like they couldn't tell who it was, and I'm like, whew, that was me.
No, exactly.
And that was real bad.
Yeah, you're right. I know. I've had that thing too, where you go, this one coming up. I hope they don't know who that is.
Right. Well, let me tell you, if you like to gamble, by the way, a FanDuel.
Right.
Sure. Just, hop right back on that horse. Opening week of the NFL regular season's finally here. This week, it's your last chance to join FanDuel before opening weekend. Fantasy football has exploded in the last few years, and FanDuel, the best way for you to play it, FanDuel. Fantasy football, not just for huge sports nuts. No, they've designed this for every fan, anyone, everyone can play right there on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel now and sign up. Give it a try. FanDuel's the leader in one-week fantasy football with more winners and more payouts than any other site. They're giving out over $75 million a week. It's a lot of goddamn money.
That is a lot.
This football season and building a team, it's very easy. Just pick your players, stay under the salary cap, and sit back on Sunday and watch your team win. Entry fees start at just $1. Anyone can play. For Christ's sake, Bobo managed his own team during the baseball season. So clearly anyone can do this with FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com. Click on the microphone. It's in the upper right corner. Use the code Anthony and sign up now. And right now, for every $1 you deposit, FanDuel is going to match it with up to $200. That gets earned as you play. That's a bonus of $200. Don't forget to use the code Anthony, FanDuel.com, where every day is a new season. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today. Thank you, FanDuel.
Nice.
We had Bobo doing that for a while. He's our little I don't know what he is. No. Some people say he's got mental issues.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but he
gets thrown under the bus. Even Bobo did it.
Even Bobo did it. The cast of characters that would parade through the Stern Show.
Oh, I know. It's
was
amazing.
over the years just
Right.
amazing.
Pretty
And-
incredible.
And just willing to lay themselves out there like that.
Yeah. Well, Beetlejuice, people always say, who's your favorite? It's hard to beat Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is just a gift to the world. And when I knew I had a problem, he called me up and told me I was a mess.
Beetlejuice called you and told you were a mess.
Fell off a stage in Vegas drunk, and he called me. Somebody gave him my number, and he said, on my answer machine, Artie, you a mess. When the toothless, retarded, black, homeless midget.
Pinhead.
There he is. Look, when he calls you a mess, that's a wake-up call.
The name Beetlejuice could be the greatest name ever given to somebody based on their appearance.
That is perfect.
It oh my God!
Look at that. Yeah, he said I'm a mess.
This guy said you're a mess.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. So that's a wake-up call. But there was there's a lot of fun. I mean, it's the radio people. What about some of the people that wait outside the building in the morning to try to get on the show?
Yeah.
Those were scary.
There would be people with waiting outside, signs, or there was a guy for a while that sat out in front of Sirius with a van and a sign. He
That's
wanted
gonna
to
work.
fucking get on the show.
Yeah.
But that was like you wanted to get on.
Right.
I got on back in I think it was '94 or something. I did the Jackie Martling impersonation contest.
Yeah.
And had a great day. It was like a dream come true for me.
Right.
Obviously, growing up on Long Island, listening to Howard, it was so fucking
Well, the people
fun.
that show up for shit, you can't believe just to get. We had the world's biggest hemorrhoid contest once, and we had a doctor who had to make sure they weren't faking it. So like 1,000 guys showed up and just got naked, showed their ass to the doctor.
How do you fake a hemorrhoid?
Well, I guess you could put something in there, whatever the hell. You had to make sure it was a real hemorrhoid. The doctor, the guy who won had like alien on it. I don't know how the
It
fuck
was bad.
It was. I never. Me and Howard, when he bent over, we reacted like, "Oh my God!" It was. I never. And he couldn't live a normal life. He couldn't leave the house. It was like a $5,000. But you can't believe these.
Wow.
They found it already. Look at you.
Oh my God! All right, that's a fucking completely.
Did you see that?
I don't know what that is.
What the hell was that? The guy.
That was terrible.
There I am reacting to it.
Oh God!
That
damn.
poor guy. He always had to have like a napkin on his ass, and he couldn't leave. He couldn't travel. He bled constantly.
That looks like a bullet wound.
And he showed up for $5,000, and that was one of my favorite like real moments. Like after me and Howard both looked at each other in disgust, and I said to Howard, "What are we doing?"
Yeah,
and he looked at me and he said, "I don't know."
That is kind of a. There's a weird thing that happens too, because I remember leaving the O&A show a few times, and one time it was with Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And we left. We're laughing at something. We had some freak show thing going on, and we walk out of the building, and we're walking to the parking garage, and Bill just goes, "Hey, you ever feel like bad?" About the shit that went on in there. I'm like, yeah. Like I don't feel good right now. Like I was laughing up there. It was great. And you understand how like bullying works in
I know,
school.
of course.
Yeah, punch the fucking asshole fat kid or whatever. It's
The
great.
worst I ever felt with that exact analogy is George Takei from Sulu from Star Trek.
Yes.
He was on our show all the time. So Benji, who was a real funny guy on the show, in a writers' meeting, said one of us should come out to George on hidden camera and see how he reacts. And say like you should, and see how he reacts to it. So of course I was the one that I'm the biggest slob. Right? It should be Artie. So they got one of the writers' office hooked up with hidden cameras and mics, and I couldn't do it for weeks. I'm like, okay, because it's a real thing. This guy in real life had to go through this.
Yeah.
And we're goofing on it. So one day I just got up and I went in and I came out to him. I thought of a whole big thing for half an hour. I'm telling him how I fucked this guy comedian once and I want to do it again. And I'm worried.
Holy
And I said,
shit.
I want to come out on the air. Tomorrow morning, will you stand by me? And I almost cried. He could not have been more supportive. He bought it hook, line, and sinker. He goes, I'm going to help you. We're going to do this together. We'll walk through this door together. He hugged me. I think I could have fucked him. He moved to, I think if I started to kiss
for
him.
the story,
Right.
it is Sulu from Star Trek.
I ain't that into the show. But he bought it, and exactly what you and Burr were talking about. I said, I felt sleazy on a level.
Yeah.
I called Howard in the afternoon. I said, Howard, I've never felt this bad.
Yeah.
I said, this poor guy really did this. I go, please, let's just tell him. And Howard said, if you tell him, you're fired.
Wow.
He wanted to do the bit so much, but of course, the next day on the air, Howard set it up really well. But George thought at some point, I'm going to say,
Yeah.
So
that
then I started
gay.
to talk, and George is ready to
I stand
support
by
me.
you.
And I go, George, it was a joke. I'm not gay. And he looks at me, and I thought he was going to hit me, cry. And Takei goes, you scoundrel.
You scoundrel.
He was just the nicest. He called me a scoundrel. And then we laughed for an hour, but like that happened a lot. But the sleaziest I ever felt was that.
Yeah, that's bad.
He was willing to help me because he thought it would
Yeah.
save my life. He goes, I know what you're going through.
Well, you were
but
telling
I'm not
him,
going through it.
was he all sincere? Like his eyes were all like,
As sincere as a person could get.
that is sad.
Yeah.
It was always
His eyes were as emotional as an Asian person's eyes.
can get. Yeah, right. As much emotion as I can pump into those lifeless eyes.
As much emotion as you can get through those slits.
Right. You really got to multiply it by 10. You know, how much emotion is it? Let me multiply it by 10 to get to real person emotion.
But what he was doing, like, looked casual to annoy, but it was really like Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's average for an Asian guy, but he's like Jim Carrey in The Mask.
Holy shit. When
I love this podcast.
when we would leave the studio and there was just wreckage in our wake, you know, lives. The studio's a mess because there's a kiddie pool filled up with like Jello and
Well, like that
crying
hemorrhoid thing,
girls.
literally, there was blood on the floor.
Yeah, no shit. Little blood rings.
There's
all
blood
over.
right there, and there's failure. And there's
Oh, God damn, that's terrible. You know what would be funny, though, with that hemorrhoid? To draw one of those old-time blackface guys.
Hello there.
That would be, then he could just...
I've been a hemorrhoid in your hair.
He could just chat out of his ass
Might
there.
you be so kind as to get me a napkin? I'm your porter, hemorrhoid.
All about bad, sir.
I'm your doorman. It's a hemorrhoid. What can I get for you?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I used to do a joke. It would be great to go to an AA meeting in front of black people in 1888. Like you go up and go, hi, I'm Artie. I'm an alcoholic. Hello there, Artie.
Well, greetings to you.
Might you be so kind as to tell me what your drug of choice is?
Lord have mercy.
Hello there, Artie. I'm your hemorrhoid. Me and my cousin made up a tape called Great Moments in Racism. And me and you both could be on it now.
Oh,
But
sure.
It
why
would be
not?
like Jimmy the Greek with the extra bone in the ankle and Cosell calling that guy a little monkey.
Look at that little monkey.
Right, it was all stuff like that. It was
Yeah,
so much.
yeah.
And like old Bugs Bunny cartoons where it's literally a porter with those lips, Stymie and the Little Rascals.
The Little Rascals, they would, yeah.
The old Little Rascals was that was so amazing because you know the stuff they cut out. My buddy had the uncut DVDs. You really should like Stymie. Buckwheat's father's always in jail.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they cut that out.
Buckwheat's father's in jail. They were dressed different than the other kids.
Right, they didn't have shoes.
What they were saying to everything. You know what? Our great friends at Zype, they actually have a great service. Shows old TV shows. You want to watch?
Hello there, Zype.
Yeah, what do you want? ShoutFactoryTV.com, powered by Zype. You want to watch, like, I was watching old Twilight Zones and stuff.
No, I love that. I could do that forever.
It's so cool.
I can't think of a hemorrhoid as an old.
Yeah, the hemorrhoid.
Welcome to the Hemorrhoid Show. I'll be your host, Eddie Hemorrhoid. That's my lips. My lips are a hemorrhoid.
Today's show is brought to you by ShoutFactoryTV.com. It used to be until the hemorrhoid segment.
Listen, we heard the hemorrhoid segment.
I remember I was watching an old episode of Bewitched, and Darren had a giant hemorrhoid that Esmeralda gave him. And he couldn't get the campaign done, and Larry was mad. That's every episode without the hemorrhoid.
Hello, Esmeralda.
Twilight Zone, Route 66, Ultraman, all available now for free viewing on shoutfactory.com. And incidentally, that site is yet another example of the fine work of the people there at Zype. We do love Zype. They power this program. It's amazing. They run all of our video and websites, apps, Zype. They're wonderful. And shoutfactorytv.com. I grew up watching so much Television. I
Right.
didn't want to go
Me too.
outside. I sat in front of a TV.
The space it took up in my brain, I could have went to medical school.
Yes.
Instead, I know all the honeymooners.
All the freaking honeymooners, great, and it still stands up. You
Yeah.
just watch them over and over and laugh your ass off.
Right.
And
I agree.
I think that had an influence on what I'm doing now.
Sure.
Good thing, because it could have just been I watched TV.
No, I know. Well,
and
that's
still
the thing.
did
There's a lot of
construction.
people, they don't use it at all. We got into a business where you could use that knowledge somewhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
movies, and I agree.
What did you? What kind of kid were you? Were you?
I was an athlete, actually. I mean, I was an all-county baseball
I
player in high
noticed
school.
most guys that tend to be a little more larger
Well,
in
no, I
adulthood.
was. That's the thing. I wasn't, though.
But in adulthood, seem to have always been like
I was
athletic.
I weighed 170 pounds till I was 23 years old. This is all shit living, man. This is just pure laziness. I was an athlete. And, a popular kid. I was a horrible student, but I played baseball, and I was always funny. And I had a very nice childhood.
Did that get your girls?
That's a strong way to put it. I had a pretty girlfriend in high school.
Yeah.
High school was, it wasn't a torture me. I was sort of like in the in crowd, and had a lot. There I am. That's at the graduation for the summer school.
Dude, you look like every Guinea friend I had on Long Island.
That's me. That's 85.
In Jersey.
At summer of 85. That's at this. Here's this story. I had to go to summer school, like I told you, to graduate. So we weren't allowed at the regular graduation. There was 80 of us in summer school. So a couple
80
of
summer
yeah,
schoolers?
right. So
Wow.
there was 80 of us. So and literally, you're playing volleyball. They're teaching you how to
It's nothing,
rotate.
right?
8 of the dumbest Irish, Italian, and black kids you've ever seen, and just teaching how to rotate in volleyball.
Yeah.
They said. They said, look, the state is saying that you guys should be able to have a graduation. It's wrong that we're not letting you graduate.
Sure.
And so, listen, we're not going to have this if you don't want it, though. So we're going to put up a sign-up sheet. If you sign up, we'll have a graduation. If you don't, we won't. So at the end of the day, no one signed it because they were all druggies. They didn't care. Me and my buddy Danny McGrath, we said, what if we sign it and they have to have a graduation for just the two of
For
them?
just two guys?
Because they're afraid of getting sued. So we said, let's try it. So we wrote our names down, and sure enough, they were afraid. They had a graduation for just the two of us in
Holy
August in the auditorium. Like the principal had to come up from his vacation down the shore. The ROTC. I lost my robe. That's my buddy's robe. I never lost mine.
Wow.
And the two of us, yeah.
And that's
there was
from
nobody
the-
in the fucking.
That's from the two-person graduation.
That's from the graduation. Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at that. You look like trouble.
I was trouble.
I know that kid.
Yeah.
I've hung out with that and nothing but trouble.
Yeah, there I am.
Nice.
That's in the
Nice.
bookie days.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, so I had my old man was, we didn't have a lot of money. He was a working class blue collar Jersey town, but I might as well have been a millionaire. I wanted nothing. I went home. There was always veal cutlets and a salad on the table. My mother's an Italian, amazing cook and all-star mom,
pretty-
nice sister.
yeah.
I had a blast
Pretty regular
as a kid.
suburban kind of.
Blast as a kid. And then a week after my 18th birthday, my old man fell off a roof, became a quadriplegic, and we went on welfare. And it was like, welcome to adulthood.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's.
Literally a week after I turned 18, my father fell. He stole the ladder that he fell off of. Couldn't sue the ladder company. He couldn't sue the home he fell off of because there was no homeowner's insurance. So he was a quadriplegic and we were broke.
Oh my.
So we went on welfare.
God.
And he died 4 years later from complications, but so that started a living hell of needing money and, but that was my splash cold water, life's cold water in the face. We all have
It is. Did you enjoy your childhood? Well, it's over.
Yeah, and
Here
I
it
did.
is.
I did enjoy it, though. I was a happy kid, yeah.
So, wow, that is a traumatic thing to have happen.
Right. It was like, everybody's got their own story. I'm not looking for sympathy, but that's
Crosses
mine.
to bear, as they say.
Right, that's mine.
Did you have to step up and kind of?
Well, in the beginning, my mother and sister were very strong. My sister was still in high school, but she never turned to anything. I turned to every self-destructive thing you could imagine. But
Do you think it was because of that? Were you
no,
kind
I
of-
wouldn't blame it on
No,
that.
no.
I had that personality. I was born that way. But I went into show business. I started doing stand-up. I was 19 the first time I did stand-up in the summer of '87.
Did you? You bombed.
I
pretty
bombed
bad?
the first time. Yeah.
That's a common story, though.
Yeah, the only thing I did well at, I bombed for 4 minutes, and then I wrote a song parody. Oh God, that got laughs. If the show Cheers were about a gay bar called Queers, this was the joke.
Right.
And I wrote a song. I'll sing you the song. At 19, this is the funniest thing ever. Going to bars where everyone's straight gets to be a rut. You want to go where you can get rammed in the butt. And Judy Garland's all they play. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows you're gay. And they're not afraid to say, when I look at his ass, I lick my chops. And all the bar stools have no tops. You want to go where everybody knows you're gay, and the whole crowd goes, you're gay. So that got laughs. The rest totally bombed. And that's how I started doing stand-up comedy.
You sang? Did you open with that?
No, I closed with it.
Oh.
That was the closer.
That's the closer, man. That is the closer.
And it got giggles.
Right.
And then I, so I was 19. That was July the 12th, 1987. I remember 'cause I went to see the Dead and Dylan at Giant Stadium the same day. And I took mushrooms, and I went into the original Improv on 9th and 44th, and on mushrooms I did stand-up.
Wow, now that had to be a little fucking...
Bombed a couple more times, got better, got an age. I had nothing else to do but load trucks, and by the age of 27, I was making $500,000 a year on TV. So I bought my mom a house, and I never looked back. So it worked out for me to where I ended up being the breadwinner.
How were you able?
But
to
it was
get,
out of luck, you know.
How were you able to get back up on stage?
Literally, the fear of nothing else to do. Like, you know,
Wow,
I
really?
load trucks or do this. Because I came up with a lot of guys who were funny, but they had great advertising jobs, a college education,
Right.
law degrees, and they
So they weren't gonna
eventually
go.
They left, you know.
Yeah.
Enough with the bullshit. Me, I was like, and that's how a lot of us were. You know, I can remember it was the 4th of July weekend, like 1992 or 93 at the comic strip. There was 8 people in the audience, and everybody with a life was down the shore or something.
Yeah.
And it was me, Colin Quinn, I think Dave Chappelle, Dave Attell, and maybe Rock was there. And we were doing stand-up in front of 8 people because we had nothing else to do.
Just
And
nothing
that's
else to
people
do.
who, I guess, make it, you know? Yeah.
How long have you known Colin?
About 20 years.
20
25
years.
25 years. Man.
He is a
on
good
and
shit,
off.
man.
I dedicated my last book to him partially. He saved my life.
Yeah, he kind of saw you were on a one of your few
Yeah.
downward spirals.
Colin's a good man.
And-
He's a good man, yeah.
We kind of intervened a little
Right.
bit.
Well, absolutely. That's exactly what he did, yeah.
Bodily took you
Yeah, well, with some friends, yeah.
with some friends.
put it this way, him and a couple of big Irish guys showed up
Big
to my
Irish
house
guys.
and said, you know, you're leaving. And I left, you know, and I went away for like 3 months. And,
Wow.
but
Damn.
yeah.
You don't see that. You don't see a lot of that in comedy. You see a lot of people that care
a lot
about
of people hate each other. The phony care.
But it's that phony, right?
Oh, they want you to fail. The worst thing a comic could see is another comic do well. That's the
Doing
old
well.
saying.
It does
Yeah.
seem to be. What a weird fucking business.
Crazy jealousy, rooting for bad stuff to happen.
Yeah. I've never seen such bitterness than when somebody else does well.
In the comedy
You're kind of
world,
like,
right, yeah.
"Man,
No,
that
you're right.
fucking guy doesn't deserve this. And
Yeah.
then the little chit chats behind the scenes start about what an asshole they are.
And then that could graduate to real bad shit, like sabotaging a person's career on some level,
Wow, yeah.
lying about them. And
yeah,
Colin's
yeah.
the direct opposite of that. Along with me, Colin is the one, a true friend. You know, David
Yeah,
Tell
I
is a
love
true
Colin.
friend. David Tell and Colin are two of my best
He's a
friends.
good guy.
Yeah.
What happened with you and DePaulo on the show you
Well,
were
we had,
doing?
you know, Nicky's another guy who I've always been close with, and we had our own show on DirecTV, and it had nothing to do with me. They wanted the show to go in a different direction, and Nick wanted to do a different show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he went and you know, I love Nick because he's incapable of bullshitting. Nick is like right, and
Not that he doesn't want to.
I admire that
He's
about him.
incapable
Well,
of
that's
it.
what I mean. Yeah, he's like, he goes, I can't tell you something's good when it ain't. and I can't lie. And you need to lie to be successful on some level with, in other words, if you're in the office of an executive and a TV executive and you're trying to get a show from them, all these guys think they're funny. You got to on some level fake laugh at their stupid story about the barbecue they went to at Asswipe's house in Burbank. And I'm good. I can meet him and that's funny. And Nick will sit there like he's watching the guy rape his cat.
Yeah, he just.
And he goes, Nick, what do you meet me halfway? It's not funny. I'm not laughing at him. He's not fucking funny. And so he was honest about the show he wanted to do, and I think he wanted to get the hell out of there too because he didn't like the way the show was going, and I always respected that. I don't know, it wasn't like where we were fighting. It was I think they sold Nick a bill of goods. I think he was right in thinking it would have been something different.
Yeah. I like Nick a lot. He's fucking.
He's one of the funniest persons.
He's hilarious.
He's one of the funniest people who's ever lived, Nick.
I've done the show.
Literally one of the funniest people I've ever known.
I've done the show a few times with him when I was broadcasting back from my house, and the show ends, and believe me, we could just talk. We talk for another hour.
Him and Patrice O'Neill, who I know you knew well.
Yeah.
They should have. If there was any justice in show business, Nick and Patrice should have had some sort of uncensored sitcom. Because you know that story. You
Imagine
might know
that meeting.
Well,
though.
that's what I mean.
That pitch meeting, the two of them.
Because Patrice ain't fake laughing at anything either.
Nothing.
But you might know this story where they were doing some show together. This is one of my favorite show business stories of all time. And Patrice had gotten a physical at a doctor, and Nick knew about it. There's Nick. There you go. Oh, they were on here together, Nick and Colin.
Yeah. Nick and Colin were here.
So Patrice went and got a physical somewhere, and Nick knew about it. So when Patrice gets to the show, Nick says to him, "How was your physical?" And like anybody else saying that, it sounds nice, like caring. Nick, it's like it's like a dagger. How was your physical? And Patrice says, "Ma'am, I got 7 out of 10 things that kill niggas." And without missing a second, Nick goes, "Is one of them a handgun?"
Oh, that is great. That's fucking great.
I mean, that's what's that funny? You think an episode of Two Broke Girls is ever going to be that funny?
Oh, there they are. Look at that.
It makes me sad. Patrice was funny.
Yeah.
And him and Nick together, two of the funniest guys ever. And that kind of banter, that honesty about race and everything. You don't find it. And Patrice knew Nick wasn't a racist. He was just funny.
Of course.
And neither it was. That kind of honesty is missing in entertainment, put it that way. And that kind of funny honesty, because it's hard to be that funny.
Tough Crowd was a great show for that. Like, they really did talk about just anything in real open language.
And it also, I did that show a few times. It also captured the what you're talking about, the competitiveness of comedians, but who do like each other.
They would just bash each other. It was like the Cellar. It was like they're at the Cellar.
Table,
just
like the Colin wanted that show to be like the table around the Cellar. Yeah, which that is a funny place. And you really got to be sharp there.
I heard that. Colin makes no secret of it. Why it was canceled.
Yeah.
You go, oh, well, Chappelle can talk about this and do this, and then they were constantly telling them to steer away from certain topics. And, It
like,
makes
what do you
things...
want? If you have Colin and that writing staff, the smart thing for Comedy Central to do is just do what you're going to do, and we'll put it on the air.
Right.
We're not fucking with it,
Just leave it alone. Let them do.
And I think Nick and me thought we'd get that a little bit too at DirecTV, and I don't think, certainly with Nick's situation, they didn't. Because I'm not smart like Nick with politics either. And Nick, if he did anything political, I didn't like it. Well, you hired a guy who knows about it and let him be funny with that. Because I don't, and I'll just do my thing. But sometimes it doesn't work out. But executives lie a lot, man.
They lie a lot. I've seen. Oh my God.
But that's what's refreshing about what you're doing now too. And I do a podcast too. It's like a it's the only time I've ever felt truly uncensored. Even at Sirius, you're still working for a corporation.
You're still working for a corporation.
Well, look what happened to you. That can't happen here.
No.
Yeah, so
no, I literally was forced into doing this.
Right.
Like, there was no other option. I couldn't go to some other company with a GM and a PD that's going to say that you can't talk about this.
And 30
steer
years
clear
ago,
of
without this technology, me and you both might be meeting at a sheet metal place.
yeah. Hey, Artie, you're the guy. Yeah, how you
Having
doing?
this conversation,
Remember,
loading a truck.
Remember the radio? Chin snips.
Right.
Oh, what a pain in the ass that would have been. No, this is really just whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
My goal as an outlaw. Oh, we just had an hemorrhoid doing a Stepin Fetchit voice. I mean, you're not going to do that on CBS in the morning.
No.
You're not going to see that on Colbert.
No.
But I think that my goal as an outlaw is I want to be the only guy to get thrown out of podcasting.
To be thrown out of podcasting. That is a good goal to have, but then where do you go from there?
Then it's back to the loading
really, yeah, back to the loading dock.
That's back to the heroin dealer.
No, it really does open up a lot of possibilities.
Yes.
This whole thing, and you have your podcast.
Yeah, I do. If you go to artiequitter.com, it's called the Artie Quitter Podcast. Artiequitter.com, you can sign up for it there, and it's I do it 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, and I just have a blast. Colin was on this week. It's so much fun. The freedom.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun.
You're doing what you want.
A lot of fun. Yep.
You're talking about whatever the hell you want to talk about.
I gotta say, when I heard about your situation, and then I heard you were going to do this, I said, "Well, fuck, I'd love to hear that."
It's like
yeah.
It's one of those situations where, like I said, I never would have done this on my own.
Right.
I needed to be physically removed from the Sirius XM building.
Makes
Are
no
you allowed?
sense.
Oh, you're obviously
I'm
you're
allowed up there, but for a while it was a little. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't think I'm really allowed in the Howard side.
In the
of
Howard
it,
section, the Howard wing,
The wing.
Yeah,
the wing.
yeah. I tried to get on when Rogan and who the hell else was
Artie.
that day? Oh, Ari Shafir.
Right.
We're doing a show while Opie and Jimmy were on vacation. And they're like, come on up. I'm like, all right. I go in and security, no, you're
Wouldn't
not
let
allowed.
you in?
Wouldn't even let me in to do the show with Joe Rogan and Ari Shafir.
What is the? Did they think you're dangerous on some level?
I don't know.
That's very odd.
It is odd
That's
because
very
they've had people in there that have killed people.
I mean, look at my past. I shouldn't be allowed. I shouldn't have been allowed up there in the first place.
You shouldn't have been allowed there in the first place. The entire fucking crew over at Shade 45 shouldn't be allowed.
Okay, you know what? I don't want to say the wrong thing, but that is a very scary situation over there.
They pull those curtains and
Like,
they don't want Whitey looking into that room. It really is its own little neighborhood.
Yeah, like what is going on?
What's going on? No one questions it. I've seen
I got a
booze
contact
bottles.
high from it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you walk past that door when it opens up. Oof. But I've seen people walking in with bottles of vodka. They're mixing drinks.
Molotov cocktails.
Molotov cocktails for the big 9/11 rally they're going to have, I think. It's just ludicrous.
Right.
Have you you obviously keep tabs of what's going on in the world because you got to get up there on stage and make it funny. And there's some of the easy ones, of course. Trump is.
Trump is as a comic, you're right. It's almost too easy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about how the one thing I thought about the Trump situation is he claims he doesn't drink, but he sounds drunk. I'll build a wall around Mexico. You're bleeding from your pussy. Megyn Kelly's bleeding from her pussy. What? Her pussy's bleeding.
Isn't that just drunk? It really is just drunk guy talk. You could absolutely hear one of your drunk friends saying the same shit at the bar.
I believe in fucking God. You don't. How can you let no chick to be president? Are you fucked in the head? My favorite part about the Mexican wall was like, I want to build a little door in the wall. For what? Mexicans? I have one for my cats. And the good Mexicans go through it.
Just a little flip door.
The Megyn Kelly thing was the crazy. I said to myself, okay, he's going to really be out now.
Now this is it, right?
Like she questioned one of his policies and he said, your pussy's bleeding.
She seems a little cranky.
What are you talking about? I don't know. You're the one with the bloody pussy.
I love how they tried to spin that one. No, he was talking about that. It's like, no, he's saying she's on the rag.
Right, of course he was.
She's bitchy because she's on the rag.
Of course he was.
That was it. An insult we've thrown around for our entire lives.
He
and
can't lose.
Trump did too.
Right, he keeps going.
And
up
now
in
he
the polls.
apparently flip-flopped on the Syrian refugee thing
I know.
within hours.
Yeah,
He said and one thing is like, well, America, we need to do something for these Syrian refugees. And then like hours later he went, yeah, we got too many problems of our own here. Like he sat and thought about it for a minute. He says, yeah, fuck that.
We got to build a wall around Syria.
Build a wall around Syria. And then his numbers go up again today.
And what's refreshing about that too is everybody in the liberal media is trying. They're clearly angry at him, and their agenda is to ruin him, and he just keeps going up.
He keeps going. It's literally the producers.
Right.
He's out there.
Right,
He's
exactly.
fucking up. He's screwing up. But it just keeps getting more and more popular.
Movie. It's going to be a movie, I'm sure. But one day, especially, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? What the experts say he won't win one primary, but I don't know. Nobody's really close. Hillary Clinton with. If he ever gets to the general election, she's self-destructing.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these liberal people in Hollywood who put their support behind some people, they really don't realize how much people in the middle of the country hate their guts.
Yeah.
Like people, if they hear Ashton Kutcher's voting for someone, they're like, well, I want the other guy to vote just based on that.
Based on that. People are very, you think about New York and L.A. and things like that, but you ever take that flight?
I know.
There's a lot of circular farms down there.
Oh, no, you're right.
Shit.
Absolutely.
And those people,
and they all vote.
They think a lot differently.
They all vote, man. They all vote. They get out there.
What do you consider yourself?
Well, I'm a convicted felon.
You're
can't vote.
Convicted felon.
I can't vote. But if I I'm registered as a convicted felon.
Convicted felon. So who would the convicted felon vote for?
No, there's a time limit. I didn't. As of 8 years ago, I could vote again.
Oh, okay.
I voted for Obama a couple of times, but I voted for Bush too in 2004 because I don't think Kerry was. I'm very in the middle.
That proves it right there, pretty much.
That's how it should be. Yeah.
I don't like party line bullshit. I hate the right's religious crap.
Right.
I hate all that stuff, that Jesus shit.
Right.
And then the left sometimes gets so ridiculous with their
snobby.
PC shit.
Right.
They become they're liars and phonies.
It's like that woman who wouldn't give the gay people a marriage license. Like, there's reasons you're disgusted with her, and there's reasons you're disgusted with the smug people who talk down to her.
Yeah.
Just because of religion. It's, you have to, I think the only sane thing to say is, I don't know what I am. I got to see which way the wind's blowing.
Everyone wants you to fall into a line somewhere.
Right. Well, I do admit I get swayed by coolness. Like Barack. Like I remember the last election, Rick Santorum was on the cover of the New York Times. Like he looked like the dorkiest white dad, like making the Fonzie thing. And that same day, Mick Jagger sang with Obama at the White House. They sang "Sweet Home Chicago," and I'm like, I'm just voting.
You got to vote for that guy.
Yeah, right.
It's cooler than the.
It's just I'd rather have him talking to the people overseas. He's just fucking cooler.
Because I'm a strong Second Amendment guy.
Right.
But are
you registered?
I love abortions.
As anything? Right, exactly.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, do you love them?
Give a shit. I'm a registered Republican.
Right.
But
well, I would probably, if some sort of political analyst gave me some sort of test, I'd probably come out towards the right. Absolutely.
Toward the right?
Yeah.
A little more?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just, I don't like that big government thing.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of that. And, as you're growing up, you want to be proud of the country, and you're like, America, blah, blah. And then you get a little older, and you're like, are we the best ever?
Probably not.
Are we great just because we're great?
There's a lot of flaws.
yeah. There's a lot
of missteps there
going on here. But
what are you gonna do? I mean, I don't know how much traveling you've done around the world, but I've been around, and I've loved a lot of places. I love a lot of Europe. But I'm not leaving here. That's for sure.
That seems to be one of the. You went over on one of the USO things, didn't you?
I went to Afghanistan. Me and Nick, actually. Me and Nikki, Attell, Jimmy Florentine, and Baba Booey. We all went over there.
Baba Booey was the master of ceremony.
We did. That's what he was. And we did stand up in Afghanistan. We were there for 10 days. Kabul, Kandahar. Unbelievable experience.
How did you hold up?
Well, I was there for 9. I got to tell you, as a heroin addict, I was on this Suboxone that stops the withdrawals. But I remember I'm in Afghanistan. I remember saying to myself, I was on stage. I was on stage, literally, Anthony. Yeah. I was on stage in Kabul, outside doing an outside show for these Marines, and I see a mountain. I'm like, there's fresh heroin over that mountain. I'm like, I thought, what's heroin like that hasn't been shit out at gunpoint at a Best Western in the Bronx? Like, I'd love to get some fresh heroin. Yeah. I'm in the heroin
You're
capital.
right here.
All right, let's get some poppy going. I admit I thought of that. But
that's even a tough, just physically.
Yeah, we stayed in the barracks.
Getting around,
Stayed in the barracks. I don't know how we ate after 8 days. I don't know how
They must have loved it, though, right?
Well, they did. That is the one. And Army guys who know you went there, even if they didn't see you on the street, they'll hug you. Go, thank you for doing that. You know what that means.
Yeah, that's
means
really.
And
that's
that is
pretty
it's
cool.
the best thing I've ever done in this business. That's for sure. It was the most satisfying, but. You know, I was being there with a bunch of funny guys too. You know, there's 2 rules when you go there. You can't talk about the president, and you can't talk about masturbating. Those were the 2 rules performing. And we said, why? You go, well, you know, we don't hear about masturbating. I guess they're afraid of an epidemic or something. I was there for 8 days. I almost broke a record in 8 days. So I know but Dave Attell said the funniest thing. He's the first comic up after we get those rules. Attell said, listen, we can't talk about masturbating, and I'm going to adhere to that rule. What I'd like to do is I'd like to tell you a story about a time I was fucking a sock with shampoo in it. And it got like an 8-minute standing ovation. And that broke that barrier down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was reading a story the other day about Gilbert, who was on Howard's show a lot of times, and fucking just. I remember, what was it, late '80s when Gilbert first came on Stern's show.
He was my favorite guest as a fan, and then when I was there, the 8 years I was there, was my favorite.
As a fan, when you heard Gilbert was going to be on, it was just. When they would do the vampire, or the Frankenstein thing,
the Dracula, you know, and the Nazi shit,
just laughing my ass off.
And when he came in, we were actually kind of dangerous together when he came in because it was just off the charts. And I never had laughed so hard in my life both times.
Yeah, I read something that, of course, it hits Twitter and then Gawker and then every other goddamn site that he's persona non grata.
No, I read that. I read that story too. I asked Gilbert about it, and Gilbert doesn't know. He goes, I know I haven't been there. It's funny, people ask me about that story, that there's a woman that works there that is in charge of stuff, and I said, well, listen, I can't comment on it because
you weren't
she wasn't there when I was there. And that does sound odd to me, that there would be a woman telling Howard what to do. I can't see anybody telling Howard what to do. But so I don't know if that's true or not because I never saw it. But Gilbert, I will admit, when I talk to him, is puzzled that he's not there.
Yeah, that he hasn't.
He's
been
puzzled.
On.
He goes, you know, Gilbert, as sincere as he gets, he goes, I don't know. So I guess there's a bigger story there that even Gilbert doesn't know. But I don't know anything about that in details because I wasn't there for.
Yeah, I think it's some kind of an image revamp because of the America's Got Talent thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you know, I guess just being on America's Got Talent would do that. You
would think that. You know, I assume that you kind of have to keep a little squeaky clean on the network.
Yeah.
If you're the network guy, you can't. No, you can no longer have the KKK guy on anymore, or
well, that's what I mean. I can't see. I know how precious the show is to Howard. I can't see anybody, but he's the one guy that maybe could tell him no. You never know. What aggravates me is him ever thinking Nick Cannon's funny. I don't know. I don't know about that.
It is a weird thing. Now, as you were on the show, obviously you're a big fan growing up. Same thing here. Did you see a change over the years to want to be more mainstream?
Never when I was there because I did. I mean, obviously, I represented a lot of crazy crap, and he let me. Howard never gave me one note until I was really out of control on heroin. I was there 8.5 years. He didn't give me one off-the-air note till 3 weeks before I left.
Wow, that must.
He just said, "Have fun, do what you got to do." And when I got notes from management, even at K-Rock, where they said some sponsors are scared because you're getting a little crazy. I'd go to Howard and he would get mad. He goes, "Be crazier." He goes, they would get him so mad because he just, you know, he was when I was there a slave to one guy. The guy, like I'm sure you were, the guy in traffic, on his way to a shit job. I want to make that guy laugh.
Right.
And I would see him tell big-time publicists, no, I'm not having this boring movie star on. I'd rather have Beetlejuice on because that's going to make the guy laugh more. And as a guy who listens now, here and there, I do see a change as a fan, but never when I was there. You know, I think he's grown up. You know, you get mature, and I think you evolve. But political correct might be a strong term, but it's definitely not the same show it was. No,
I think I could understand somebody evolving and changing, and that's why the show's different. I mean, you can't be the same fucking guy for 30 goddamn years or whatever it is.
Older daughters putting a 24-year-old on the Sybian. I mean, give him a break. It's probably he's trying to class it up a little bit. He's a 60, you know.
A little bit, right.
Yeah, you know, it's like
I can see that. If it looked like this forced change to be accepted in the mainstream,
right?
And I know Howard always kind of wanted that acceptance of the mainstream to say yes. You are good.
There was always that, even though he was this like to me, I loved how much of a rebel he was. That's what I loved, that he was the guy that could just make more money than these idiots who towed the line, and he didn't have to. He was like that rebellion, that working class hero thing. But I think there's a part of Howard, even though I'm being friendly with him, that I think he was always wants to be at the in-crowd table, too.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he's there finally because he's so successful. And now these young movie stars that are in the in-crowd grew up on him, too, and they love him so much, so he's accepted.
Yeah.
And I think he enjoys that. You know, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
I think some of the older fans get kind of pissed off.
Well, they're the ones that are going to feel left out for that. But at the same time, what are you going to do? You got to, you know.
But it's like when your favorite band kind of went mainstream or put out a song that became a hit.
Well, I'll give you
fuck them guys.
I'll give you the exact example. Me and my cousin, I remember the first time we saw the Dancing in the Dark video, Springsteen, when he was cut, my cousin actually said, is he working out? He didn't buy 3 Springsteen albums because he thought he was going to the gym. You know, that's the thing. That's a perfect example when you think the rock and roll is going.
The rock and roll is gone, and you're doing something to get more acceptance and a wider base.
Right.
Then you're a sellout.
Right. I mean, like Ozzy Osbourne in our generation, he was the Prince of fucking Darkness. Now people know him as the guy who trips over the ottoman.
It's the new Dick Van Dyke.
The Dick Van Dyke on heroin. You know, and his kids are bigger stars. We grew up. Flavor Flav was an edgy, drugged out rapper. Now he's like, you know, the guy on the dating show.
The living members of NWA.
Right. Exactly.
You know, look at Ice Cube in the, Are We There Yet movies, and then back straight out of Compton.
Right, makes no sense. Makes no sense.
It really is.
But again, he moved to making a bunch of money, and God bless him. Ice Cube did what he had to do, and now, fuck everybody. He's successful. But as a fan, when you're younger, when there is a rebellious, like, fuck yeah, this guy's a rebel talking for, and then that they get success, and then they move more mainstream, everybody's going to get.
Yeah.
You feel like you're left out,
You feel like you're left out, or you feel like you were in on something special and stuff, and now that everyone's in on it, fuck you.
Right,
You opened up the clubhouse to everybody.
Not my thing anymore.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Tim Sabian was out of control story?
Well, Tim, I know Tim was always a friend to me, but Tim is a guy. Tim Sabian's that's such a typical. I love Tim. He's a typical old school radio executive.
Yes.
He's the guy. He's not into this political correct computer world. Tim's the guy who takes the guy from fucking Angelo's sub shop out. Takes him to a strip club, buys him a fucking steak, tries to get him a blowjob so he can buy 4 spots.
He buys commercial time on the fucking show.
Tim's that guy. And Tim's also a guy, you could change his opinion in 1 second, just based on you changing your opinion. I love that show. That show sucks. Terrible show.
Terrible show.
Yeah, Tim's a salesman.
Yes.
He's an old school salesman, and that shallowness is so entertaining.
Every GM that was under Mel Karmazin.
Right. Oh, I know. And the kissing Mel's ass, right?
And they all
kissed Mel's ass in the same way, like a very. And Karmazin, I had a very good relationship with Mel. He liked me, and I always enjoyed talking to him. And he's clearly a genius on a lot of levels. And but those guys, those he got all those guys rich.
Yep.
But there is a level of dignity a sales guy just loses.
Oh,
They
yes.
just lose when you realize, like, this guy looks good. He's in an Armani suit. What are you doing? I'm taking the guy out from Vinny's Chicken. We're going to I'm trying to get the guy from Vinny's Chicken laid. He's going to buy a spot. He's going to buy a
Right, he's going to buy some time. It's going to be great.
Right.
I went to a few of those corporate things where Mel was there and the GMs and everything, and they all get up there and get to the podium and rah-rah and everything. And the little chit-chat that goes around behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there was one, it could have been, I can't remember his name. Who was I think it was Indian or Arab.
Fareed.
Fareed.
Yeah, Fareed.
Fareed's, like, wife was talking to me, and she was hammered, and she's just like, let me tell you about fucking Mel Karmazin.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know where Mel is.
I know.
And I don't want this guilt by association. Like, if anyone hears her saying that to me,
and what do you
gets
suppose?
back,
What's the good way to react? Like,
right,
you know,
right.
yeah.
She'll be like, yes. What?
Yeah.
I just, like, I ran away. I had to just run away from the situation. But that was like,
well, it's the corporate world meeting people like us.
Yeah, we don't
like
belong
they're
there,
corporate
really.
and they're on another floor, and we're where the nuttiness happens. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to get notes from them, like, you know, but you know, mixing, you know, commerce and art is that whole thing of like, okay, you can be funny, but not funny to where you're upsetting the guy from Bill Stereo.
Bill Stereo.
Bill Stereo City. You know, like, don't get him mad. You know.
I love the companies are still the old school companies from radio that you bring up.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
you know.
Did you ever the client lunges? You know, like they back when we were in Vegas, or could you come out with the guy from, you know, whatever? And I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Meeting with the client. Can you meet with the client today? We got the guys from Microsoft, the Xbox guys are here, and they just want you to play a few games in the conference room and talk about it.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I'm like, fuck. Oh, and
that's what I want to do after a 4.5 hour show. My mind's numb.
Just play some fucking video game that I don't even want to play.
I know. And
it's not even one I like.
That's the best part about that is dealing with their small talk. These two guys. Like, really? Your kids in Little League?
That was the work part of the job.
Absolutely.
Like, going in and goofing around with your friends, fucking dream come true.
Right.
But then the work part was like, oh, I have to meet with
I know.
somebody. And I never liked going into Greenstein's office for that meeting in that little corner office.
You never know what's going to... Well, again, it was... I have a different experience than a lot of people. I was protected. I was with the Stern Show, you know?
Right,
So we were always protected. You couldn't fuck with us.
He's a good friend of ours.
Well, that's what it was. That's what it was like. Who you with? Stern's all right, he's got to pass, you know? But, you know, even with money, like I've been, some of those DJs are making like $60 a show, and I'm getting in a limo, and I look like a homeless, obese
they're still there for another 10 hours, tracking fucking 3 months of '60s radio.
Right, exactly.
And you're you know, 4 hours. Wow, exhausted.
Yeah, good luck promoting Soundgarden's new album. That sounds like a fun day.
It really. Did you at any point think you were untouchable over there?
Yes, I was wrong.
Yeah, me too.
No, I was untouchable with a certain level, but I wasn't untouchable with Howard.
Yeah,
that was a fight you don't take on. And not that I took on a fight, I ignored. You know, I should have gotten clean. You know, but I think with management, they didn't know what to make of me. I was just some slob that had to be let in the show every day.
Had to be given credentials to enter the building.
Howard told some guy he sits there, and they let me sit there. You know, what does he do? Well, listen to the show. It's hard to describe.
You get to a point though. Like I thought I was untouchable. Not so much for on the air stuff. I knew what to do on the air and what not to do, what to talk about, how far to go, things like that. Yeah. But off the air, I assumed.
Yeah, no, I know. Me too. Well, both of us, we went through the movie The Untouchables. We both got in the elevator one day, and our friend was dead, and it said touchable in blood.
Touchable.
Yeah. But we both went in there. There's like a big Twitter sign, touchable.
Right. Touchable.
the send, touchable.
And, you know, you're just trying to tweet something or whatever, and you know
it's a rough situation.
You get jammed up.
Right.
Thank God for Loot Crate. that a good segue? You sign up for your monthly Loot Crate yet? Loot Crate.
Give me the Loot Crate.
It's wear the Loot Crate for my hemorrhoid. I will sit on it. It's delivered right to your door every month. It's packed with different geek and gamer gear. Yeah, like a wine of the month thing only. Each month you're going to get different themed box packed with geeky and gamer type gear. It's like Comic-Con right there in a little box delivered right to your door every month. All you need to do is sign up at lootcrate.com/CUMIA and you're going to get 10% off. It's amazing. Oh, yeah? Each month is a different theme. And I received a lot of really cool things that never would have bought or even knew they existed until they showed up at my door. Bunch of cool gamer gear, spy gear, fantasy games, stuff from Terminator, DC Comics, Star Trek goodies, even the phenomenal Los Pollos Hermanos apron. What was that?
That was very nice. That accent was great.
Los Pollos Hermanos apron right there.
That's what Tim Sabian would wear to the store.
Tim Sabian would wear.
lunch.
Hey, guys, what do you think? What do you think, guys? Cool?
It's ugly. You're right, it's ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly. Fuck it. Throw it away. No, of course you want that. It's the apron delivered right there to your door. But you got to sign up to get it. So go over there to lootcrate.com/CUMIA. You're going to get 10% off. September's theme is Summon. Huh? And they've hinted that this month's crate features an exclusive collectible that is, and I quote, the most important object in pretty much the whole universe. I don't know what that could mean.
But, after this, we're having dinner with the guys from Loot Crate.
Yeah, Loot Crate. We're having dinner with them later. Whether you're a geek or you know a geek or you just like geeky shit, I encourage you to sign up at lootcrate.com/CUMIA and get ready to receive the monthly box of goodies. Each month, your Loot Crate going to be packed with goodies delivered right there to your door. It's like a surprise every month. Lootcrate.com/CUMIA for 10% off. Thank you, the fine folks at Loot Crate. I remember doing or listening to Howard driving into work, drive into the city or something.
Right.
And listening to even his reads were funny.
Oh, I know.
And remember before they syndicated,
right,
when it was just New York, and they would go off for like an hour.
Well, that's the thing. I talk about you getting a bang for your buck. You buy a live commercial. It's supposed to be 30 seconds. It ends up being an hour of goofing on Gary because it's a teeth product or something. I mean, it's funny. I never told anybody this. The 8.5 years I was there, the only commercial Howard wouldn't read, he was literally scared to read, was the Ashley Madison commercial.
Really?
It's the only, he had just gotten married to Beth, and he was really,
amazing.
Dedicated to the whole thing. And, he said, you know what? I'm not reading this. He was afraid of the Ashley Madison text.
Oh, what's there to be afraid
in
of?
hindsight, the guy's, obviously.
He's like Kreskin.
Right. He knows what's going on. So he said, well, Artie, read. I'll read it. I don't give a shit. I'm going, yeah, cheat on your wife.
I know.
No one's going to find out.
I must have read 1,000 of those fucking things myself.
I read the one live read I read because Howard didn't want it was Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison.
It just makes Howard look smarter.
Wow. Isn't that something? Because Opie didn't want to read the one for boy butter, which was a lubricant for male-on-male sex. And I'm not kidding.
Oh, wow.
He didn't want to read that
listen,
one.
that is a tough one.
And it was pretty much his not excuse, but his freaking reasoning was, this is ridiculous. Why are we doing this?
That's the thing.
Boy butter.
With radio, you take anybody because, even though it was Howard, it was such controversial, edgy shit we talked about. So you wouldn't get McDonald's. And the hypocrisy is McDonald's is killing more people than Howard is. With it. But so we'd take anything. He wouldn't read Ashley Madison, but he would read like Schvinkterine, the ass mint. He'd read that. Just write the check. A mint for your ass. Okay, write the check.
Right? Where is that mint?
They got
Why
money.
Pop it in my mouth. Lordy Lord.
Pop it in my ass.
Yeah, years ago, listening to Howard, and those reads would go on for an hour.
Well, who's not? Yeah,
and it was entertaining.
Right.
It was funny. They would lose track of the fact that they were even doing a read.
Yeah.
That was revolutionary.
Right, of course, that was part of that. Like, wow, what am I listening to? I've never heard this before.
Yeah, Cousin Brucey never went long on a read.
Exactly.
He never did that.
It was fun. It was fun to, it was like the comedy version of Dylan or something, with radio.
No one could go against him either. It was, and we kind of learned from that to watch the deconstruction of John DeBella in Philadelphia.
Well, DeBella, I think even Howard admitted later that he was a freight train train of anger that and ambition that if you happen to get in the way of that at a certain time, which DeBella did, you're getting plowed, and unfortunately DeBella was in the way.
He came into those new markets with just venom.
You were done.
And you were done.
You were done, yeah.
And when we came into New York from Boston,
right.
We did not want to be those guys, like to be goofed on by Howard.
But you went in the afternoon for...
We were in the afternoon, so we weren't even on the same day.
Which was kind of perfect. Like I say, my buddies really enjoyed your show to the level of, like, you know... Cause
we had a lot of shared audience.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah. You know, so...
Which worked out well for the company. And then we got called in. That was one story I tell all the time about Mel Karmazin. Called us in because we were, ragging on Howard and it was going back and forth.
Well, why did you start doing that, though? What started that?
The ragging on Howard thing?
Yeah. Because you're fans, obviously.
Yeah, we were fans. It wasn't so much like I defy anybody to really find audio of me going, hey, Howard sucks, or fuck Howard or this. I would always, get out, do the impression.
Well, first of all, you did an impression of him.
Do the impression and kind of goof.
It's a perfect impression.
It was fun.
A lot of people, though, they don't really, some people, just the fact that someone's doing an impression, they get insulted by it. But, I never, the one thing I didn't understand about you guys with the fight was when I came into it, I said, well, clearly they're fans of Howard. They were influenced by him.
Absolutely. I never even denied that.
Right, of course. So I just said, maybe what started you being negative towards him? It was, but your argument is you weren't being. You were misinterpreting.
No, I wasn't. The show was.
Opie was?
Mostly Opie, really.
Well, what was Opie's problem with him?
Well, I think initially it was almost like you were talking about with the DeBella thing. We came into New York knowing we had to make a name for ourselves.
And you thought going out
to go after Howard and have him talk about us would probably.
See, here's where you made a mistake, I think. And clearly you made a lot of right moves, too, because you're both very successful. But to me, maybe it was a self-confidence thing. You guys were good enough to where you didn't have to do that.
Right.
And my friends liking you clearly proved that. It would have been a better move to go, look, we're funny, but hey, we love Howard. He's our guy, and embrace him.
Yeah.
I think the idea of, like, let's start a fight with the big guy to get noticed was a wrong move. Is a right move if you're not talented. Then it's all you got. But if you're talented like you guys, it's a dumb move to me.
It was the prison move,
I would not do an impression.
Take on the big guy.
Right, that's what I mean. I would not do an impression of him if you do a brilliant impression. I wouldn't go that far. But bashing him is wrong if you can be funny. But if all you got is that, then you have to do it. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I was never, like, bashing. It would always be
but
something
you say
like...
Opie was.
Oh, Howard. Well, the show would.
Right.
And it's hard to say Opie would or that, because I would jump on the bandwagon.
Okay, right.
But not like...
Now we're getting it.
But here it is. It was more like, hey, Howard's... the everyman kind of a thing, but he's going out to the Hamptons on the weekend. So we'd bring that up, and I'd be like, oh, I'm taking the Howie copter out.
Okay, yeah,
and going out. So if you could consider that bashing him.
Well, you gotta realize who you're talking to, though. He's gonna not like that.
Of course he's not.
Yeah, but
he was a celebrity.
I'm trying to give you a compliment in the sense that if you guys were shittier at what you did, it would have been smart to do that.
I got you.
You know what I mean? But I think you were good enough to not have to do that.
I think we figured striking first might keep him from rolling over us.
Because here's the problem. It's not only on the air. You got to worry about the power he has off the air, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we saw that.
Ultimately, that's what took you down.
We saw that.
It was, so
Mel Karmazin said, what time of the morning do you wake up and say, I'm going to fuck Mel Karmazin?
Well, that's what I mean.
And it's like, wait a minute, I can't answer that question.
At some point.
He fucking gave me a question I can't.
Right, at that point you go, I'm not doing the Howie copter bit.
Yeah, maybe I could lay off on the Howie copter.
You got a million other things to do.
Things.
Some hack in St. Louis doesn't. And maybe that's but it's like, the thing is, Howard's not going to talk about that guy anyway. It's like the move is to just ignore you. That's what the move is.
Right.
Well,
it worked out in the end, I think, as far as us being at NEW. It kind of started as, wow, these two assholes are giving Howard some shit.
Right.
And it got us some attention.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I might
In
be wrong.
hindsight,
I'm
maybe.
just saying, yeah.
Maybe.
You know. But no, look, you and you got that show is, in the Radio Hall of Fame. You guys did,
It did very well
right.
in the NEW years and stuff like that, sure.
It was massive success, and you should be real proud of it. I'm proud of this. I'm just saying, as an outsider looking in, knowing not just the power on the air, but the power you had off the air there. If you have the same boss and one guy's making $50 million a week for the
we
company.
probably could have been smarter. But
and this comes from guys who made a lot of dumb
what do you got? Yeah, coming from Artie.
If you want to start dissecting my wrong moves, go ahead.
You know who I'm going after now? Adam Carolla, you fucking piece of shit. I love Adam. Joe Rogan is another guy who does a
well, this
good
is
job.
a more. It's not as a competitive.
Yet.
Radio is a real competitive.
Yet
thing,
I can't wait till because you know what's funny about the podcast and web broadcasting industry? Right. It's very young, it's very new, and everyone's like helpful.
Right.
It's like, yeah, come on my show. I'll come on your show. We'll do this. Hey, you're trying to do this? Yeah, do it this way. And I can't wait till the time when it just starts getting ugly like radio did.
It's going to eventually.
It will at some point. Someone's going to be like, what?
Yeah.
I never understood your guest. You can't have our guest if it was on this show or that.
That's odd.
That's
an
very
old
odd.
school Johnny Carson
yeah.
showbiz thing.
Johnny Carson would do that, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, a lot, people on Twitter and stuff, they're like, you're a Stern guy. Why are you going on Anthony? I'm like, guys, first of all, listen, I never said I wasn't a fan of these guys, because Opie and Jim treat me very nice. I've been on their show, and they're both very nice to me, and I respect their talent too. But I always thought you were hilarious. And I said, look, it's different times. I'm not on Stern anymore. I got to promote, and these guys are not guys I dislike. And I respect them, as a matter of fact. I mean, you guys, look, I was a sidekick. You guys are bigger names in this business than I am. So, I
much bigger show.
No, I'm saying, but I respect what you guys did.
No,
and I'm happy that you want me here.
It's appreciated. And I can't, please, thanks for coming. It's been a long time.
Right.
We actually wanted to have you on the O&A show a few times, but it was too soon. And,
it probably was,
And I think in that iteration of Opie and Anthony's show, instead of what it is now, Opie with Jim.
It would have been more. Well, again, I appreciate how you treated me here. You treated me very nice, and Opie and Jim do too. And Norton's a friend. But it's like, they never, there's no ambushing. It's respect.
No, that's just it. There's no reason for any ambushing or bullshit.
Yeah.
Or
At
any
this
of that.
point, no.
No, I mean, we were in a huff with Don and Mike. Do you remember Don and Mike?
Sure, I remember them. Yeah.
And Don Geronimo. We literally hated him. We got fired from NEW, and
that was a real hatred.
It was a real hatred.
Right.
He had like a party when we all got fired, and it was hurtful.
Yeah.
But then his wife, who he had on the air many times and stuff, tragically died.
Right.
And it was like, I think this radio war shit's done. I think this is a real moment for a guy that.
Well, you got to remember the other thing we're talking about too is that the young thing too. You guys were young. I think. Look, I mean, you guys are creative guys, and you had anger. And every great artist in the history of the world has anger.
Pissed off.
And you make mistakes based on it.
You're always pissed at like management. They're always trying to tell you what they think you should do on your show.
Right.
You don't know. Like, could you imagine some guy telling you what you should do on stage?
I wouldn't want that.
No.
It made me very mad. And it used to, people, club owners would do that, and you just hate their guts for it. And you get on and you rebel against that. You go farther the other way. But, we're at a different time in our life sitting here talking. It's
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Artie, thanks so much for coming
Anytime.
on.
Anytime.
Absolutely. I'd love to
it's
have
a
you on.
great
More so
pleasure.
Instead of just this back and forth of questions and answers.
It's a get to know you thing, but
I
I appreciate you having me on. This is a great setup. Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah, good luck with it too.
Yeah,
but keep
luck.
in touch.
Good luck with you. Artie Quitter podcast, the Artie Quitter podcast. ArtieQuitter.com.
Yes.
Go there and subscribe. He's a very funny guy. You have a really good guest too, and you do it from your kitchen.
Yeah, I've been late 11 times. It's in my kitchen.
I love it.
I'm talking to my agent, see if I can get it in my bedroom. Run a wire. No, I have a blast. It's a blast doing it, and it's turning into a little business. It's fun.
It is. It's a great time. September 12th at Caroline's.
I'm at Caroline's this Saturday, September, 2 shows.
And October 10th, the Space at Westbury. Oh, yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, it's a good time in my life. I like the podcast, stand up on the road, and it's a good life.
And you're feeling good?
I'm relaxed, yeah.
You feel like you're...
I feel like...
in a good place, as they say?
Right. I mean, as good a place as I've been.
Right.
You know, it's been worse, that's for sure.
Do you have an occasional beer, or do you...
No, enough. I stopped drinking in front of people.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm just curious because
I can't do anything. I'm one of those guys.
I hear you.
If I had a Coors Light right now, I'd be running guns to Cuba tomorrow morning.
It really is. It really is odd. A lot of comics are just they don't drink anymore. I think it's that lifestyle too on the road.
Listen, listen. The thought you have when you wake up at a Hawthorne Suites in Vernon Hills, Illinois, and realize the night before you spoke publicly to people with a microphone and you don't remember it.
Wow.
Is the most horrifying experience. Like, what did I say?
That's scary.
Why is my elbow bleeding?
Do you not want to look at your phone?
Right. Check
you just see you have like a bunch of texts and you're like, oh no, what did I do?
Those days, again, the mountain's coming.
The mountain's coming. Artie, best of luck with everything.
Thank you, Anthony.
So
I'm a big fan. I appreciate
Fantastic.
you having me. Thank you.
We will see you back here on Monday. Tonight, who do we got tonight?
Gavin at 9 o'clock.
Gavin McInnes at 9 p.m. Right here. He's a crazy motherfucker. So check him out. And thank you, people back there.
Thanks,
you guys. Always good to see. Staff and crew. And Asti Spumante. Have a good weekend.
Salud.